Welcome to the channel. I'm Jay, and this is our 2 cents, where we talk everything boxing, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. In today's live, we will be discussing Tank done with boxing, Tank and Shakur beef, and Boots about to put on a show. But before we do that, make sure you punch that like and subscribe button. And make sure you let me know and drop it below your 2 cents as we go throughout the live today. It's ladies' night. So I got the link at the top of the chat for all the ladies to click the link to hop on the panel. Ladies' night tonight. So ladies, all ladies, feel free to click the link and come on and give your 2 cents about the topics we're talking about. It's Friday, the review show, where we just go through, see what the latest news, current events are, what they got going on. And then we just chit chat. But I guess the biggest news in boxing today is Gervonta Tank Davis saying he's retiring in 8 weeks. That he's on his way out the door. And what's going on? Slogan 1, Miss Joette. All things Big Bob Gunn, SBG Mello, Mr. Bono. Who else we got? Jay Will. What up, Jay Will? Big Dog Willie. And can I talk, Rich? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? So I know y'all be around these YouTube streets. Like, just give me an update. What's been the topic of discussion as y'all been going around the YouTube streets? Like, what y'all been hearing? What type of channels y'all been listening to? What's the news been? Because I seen Tank retire today. I seen Tank going back and forth with Shakur today. I seen Leonard Ellaby going back and forth with people on X today. I seen Lamont, Roach, and Ellaby talking to shit too. I'm like, what is going on? Like, people are in a uproar. People are in an uproar, man. I'm trying to figure out what's really happening. Let me pull up some X. You know, it's the review show. Let's review some X posts today because I seen Lamont, Roach, and Ellaby going back and forth. Let's take a look at that. See why they beefing. And speaking of Lamont Roach, what is y'all 2 cents on the Lamont Roach Pit Bull fight? What do y'all think about that fight? I don't know. This is my thing. I like Pitbull. He's a decent fighter, right? You may not like his style. And this is what I don't be liking about people. They be acting like if a fighter is not just fighting like Shakur Stevenson, then they just trash or they not a good fighter. Everybody got their own style. It's as long as they're able to execute their style effectively and win, then that's their style. So I don't know why people don't like Pitbull. Because he got to come for a style and he throwing hooks. He going hook at the hook at the hook. I seen his last, I think maybe 2 fights. He been trying to use a little jab. But the thing with Pitbull is he going to gas out. You make it 4, 5 rounds with Pitbull, he gassing out. That power ain't the same. He tired. He chasing you around. We seen Cabrera. I don't know about how y'all felt about the Pitbull Cabrera fight, but I felt like Cabrera beat Pitbull. He even dropped him. He put out the blueprint for how to beat Pitbull, in my opinion. And that's what Rolly tried to do when Rolly fought him, but he got in and got to Rolly. So I'm just trying to think how a Pitbull, like what that matchup would look like. Have y'all tried to picture that matchup, like a Pitbull Lamont Roach matchup? And I think that Pitbull is too small for 140 pounds. I think he needs to go back to 135, but what do I know? But that's just my 2 cents. Because I feel like his power ain't the same at 140 and he gasses out. So that's not beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Big. Hold on, I got 3 super chats. Okay, shout out to Big Dog Willie with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Join the greatest tour since Michael Jackson Bad Tour. My tour will bring excitement to the sport of boxing since Mike Tyson became heavyweight champ." Shout out Big Dog Willie. All things in the building with the $2 in the super chat, just supporting the channel. Shout out All Things. Jay Will with the super sticker. Shout out to everybody that support the channel. Really, really appreciate it. So I think that fight has been announced to happen in Texas, is what I'm hearing. And I'm also hearing that the fight might be pay-per-view. And some people are like, no way, don't make this fight pay-per-view. But I think that they have been building Pitbull to be a star, a pay-per-view star on top of that. And I think that I think Pitbull is more popular than people realize, especially with like the Mexican fan base. What was the last fight? Anytime like you watch a Pitbull fight, he got a ton of fans there. Like I think Pitbull has a big following. I haven't really like looked at his Instagram and checked his numbers or nothing, but I do feel like PBC has been building up Pitbull, and maybe they're using this opportunity to put it on pay-per-view because it's two ex-opponents of Tank. So since people are familiar with them because they fought Tank, and then Roach just had the whole controversy with Tank, maybe they feel like they could sell pay-per-views that way. I can't say if I agree or not agree with it being pay-per-view because I'm not really neither one of they fan. But they said the fight is rumored to be in Texas, and if the fight's in Texas, I'd probably go to it. I will go watch Lamont Roach and Pitbull fight. I think that'll be a decent fight. But we'll see. We'll see if it's gonna be pay-per-view and they're gonna be main event and all that. We'll have to see. Because if Pitbull ready to just step out and be a main event in pay-per-view, I don't think they would give him a Lamont Roach fight like if it's risky like that. You get what I'm saying? But hey, what do I know? Maybe they stepping it up. But you know, AB say PBC ain't gonna make you fight Godzilla. And so my next question is, y'all remember when T.O. had the hat on with the PBC? Like, when did he sign? Is that when he signed with the PBC? Like, when did T.O. leave Top Rank? I thought they was tied up in court and all this other stuff, and Bob won. Like, when did that transition happen? Because I keep hearing Turkey is financing the card for PBC. I'm just curious how that's working. Because I'm like, which one of them is on PBC? I know it ain't Shakur. And I thought T.O. was still with Bob Arum because he was just saying how he got to pay Bob 20% or whatever percentage or whatever he do. Or something crazy like that. I'm working on reading my comments and talking at the same time. So, you know, I might get a little froze sometime. I'm trying to see. I don't be understanding how people be doing that. But I got to start practicing. You feel me? So I was trying to pull up the X and go to Lamont Roach. We got Jerron Boots in this with a fight with Lima coming up. Who y'all got in that fight? And I know that's a loaded question, right? Who y'all got in that fight? But this is the thing, right? Just because you've never heard of Lima or you don't know who he is, that don't necessarily mean that it can't be a decent competitive fight just because you don't know who they are. I think that's another, like, you know what I'm saying? Some stupid stuff people be doing in boxing. Let me share this screen. So here we go. This is Lamont Roach. And I'm trying to see where the beef started with Ellaby. So here we go. So boom, 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 we right here. So it said, it's not hate. Everyone likes Tank as a boxer. One of the most exciting to watch. Just disappointing that he don't take the fights that we all want to see and clearly is cherry picking. Leonard Ellaby. Ain't one fighter out there he's afraid of. Not one. That boy capitalizing. Not one. I imagine you like shaking your head and wagging your finger. Like, not one. Right? Scared of what? He's seen all them. All, trust me. Stop with these dumbass narratives. The last MF, with all due respect, I gotta be real with you. He's a good fighter, but Tank ain't even get up for him at all. And that's on everything. Yeah. And then Lamont Roach responds, LOL. I'm like, okay. So I gave him tons of respect and praise prior because he's from the city and lots of people fuck with him. But let's not get carried away with these dumb A narratives. He need Tank, not the other way around. Don't get this shit twisted. You can talk yourself out of bag quickly. Lamont Roach say, I don't need him. And you know that corny, bald head, flunky ass nigga, LOL, check the stats. You know better. Keep doing your job, though. Now, this is wild, but hey, maybe he like whatever. Maybe LB don't run nothing. You ain't finna tell, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why you talking crazy to somebody that's responsible for making Tank fights, if that's the case. I'm just saying. So LB responds, good luck in your next fight, champ. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even finna go back and forth with you. And then Roach replies, appreciate it. Like, why you want to start a war with the dude that's could possibly? What is LB's role with Tank, first of all? Because Tank been on X going back and forth with people all day about Tank. Let's see what else LB was talking about. Leonard, I'm betting a house on Tank to knock out Jake Paul. Floyd would have knocked out Logan Paul too. And where are you from? Africa? I don't know what that's about. Wow. But literally, we say where I'm from, this boxing shit is deep and real. 2 people I know and been knowing for 40 years that fuck with him got mad because Tank is my guy and will be forever. They said, pick a side. I said, F you. We haven't spoken since. Are y'all serious? A 40-year friendship? Okay. Somebody say random. Talk yourself out of a bag. These guys are ducking in plain sight, not even trying to hide it, LOL. Leonard Ellerby say, where's the lie? Somebody ducking in plain sight. Leonard Ellerby say, where the lie? Sound like a little subliminal. Let me get the cash out. Shout out to Kurt Hurd in the cash out. Hold on, y'all. He says, salute. Shout out, Kurt. Somebody say he talking about Floyd? Why would he be falling out with Floyd? Why would he be falling out with Floyd when Floyd said this?
If you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say. So, do what makes you happy. Because you see this jet, you see this private jet that we own? I got it because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I made over $1 billion, you know why? Because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm gonna always tell Tank, do what the fuck you wanna do.
So how is Floyd feeling any type of way? I don't understand. That's the advice he gave Tank sitting in that airplane. How could he be beefing about Leonard Ellerby with Tank over the fight with him and Jake Paul? I don't understand. I'm going to play it one more time for y'all. This is the advice. They sitting in a plane, and this is the advice that he told young Gervonta Tank Davis.
If you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say. So, do what makes you happy. Because you see this private jet that we own? I got it because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I made over $1 billion, you know why? Because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm gonna always tell Tank, do what the fuck you wanna do.
So that's wild. That's why he's falling out. That's wild. He said it's two people though, y'all. Somebody said Floyd, but he said it's two people. Half you ninjas can't read. He said the same haters that hated on Floyd for getting to the bag, hating on Tank for getting to the bag. Y'all talking about he comparing Tank to Floyd, LOL. Only thing in common is the beat niggas hating is what LB is saying. Talk yourself out of bag. These guys are ducking in plain sight, not even trying to hide it. He say ducking who and what? Says from the side. Hold on, y'all. My bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. Shout out Key with the T in the building. What up, Key with the T?
Hey.
What's going on?
Hey, Queen. Go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt.
I'm just on here chatting about, like, it seems like anybody associated with Tank, affiliated with Tank is getting attacked. And it's just kind of wild to me. And just the reaction to this whole thing is extraordinary. It's very interesting to watch how emotional people are about this. And how, he announced that he was retiring in 8 weeks, and the reaction to him saying he gonna retire. And I'm like, damn, Shakur said he was gonna retire. Y'all ain't say nothing. Y'all acted like y'all ain't even care. T.O. said he was gonna retire. Nobody cared. No, like nobody cared about no other fighter retiring. But now they mad at Tank because he's gonna retire. And
Yeah.
I don't know. But what you got?
Well, first of all, salute to you. Make sure y'all subscribe to my girl channel, hit the like button. Also, salute to the beautiful chat that's in here. I hope y'all having a blessed day. I hope y'all families are blessed. 2 cents. I had the opportunity to watch Floyd Mayweather. But I'm not old. When I was watching Floyd and Pacquiao and Cotto and everybody, I wasn't old enough to dissect the hate and go through, you know what I'm saying, to really say, do the comparison of, okay, Floyd got this hate that Tank is getting, right? I don't know those two, due to my age and me not really being, you know what I'm saying. I was just watching. I was just a spectator. But as I got older and got more involved into the sport, I remember, you know, with the watching the Canelos and with the Spence and you know, when Adrian Broner was out there, AB, and then you had the Charlos coming up, and then, you know, then you had Tank. Everybody was just coming up at this time, and me, you know, really getting, you know, tapping into, okay, let me see what people are saying. But, you know, remember back then the internet wasn't what we have today. It was way different. And so I can say because of that, the hate that Tank is getting is new, in my opinion, because of the internet and the and what we have right now. I feel bad for people who have made so much money off of content, off of Tank for the past couple years, because if he does retire, which my sources tell me that no, he's not. But if he does, if he was to change his mind and retire, I wonder who they're going to get their content off of, due to the fact that none of these guys, and this is no disrespect, shout out to all the fighters, but none of them command the attention of a Tank Davis. The only one that will come near is when Spence announces his fight, and everybody will be talking, how will Spence look? Jamel, yeah, a
Okay,
little
hold on.
bit.
Not to cut you
Go
off,
ahead.
Keith, but okay, Spence. You mentioned Spence. You got some tea with Spence because I heard some whispers that he might be
Hmm.
fighting Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, so okay, you
Give
heard
me
that too.
tea, give me tea,
You heard that too. Okay, so remember that remember that 54 tournament
Mm-hmm.
that I've
Mm-hmm.
been talking about forever, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so mad because they keep pushing it back. So they're reworking everything, and from my understanding, now this is just what I heard. Manny Pacquiao came in weighing like what one about like 146 this last fight, if I'm not mistaken. But he can possibly, what I'm hearing, that there may be a catch weight to that.
Mm.
Because of the 147 up to 154. Possibly. But I also heard that there may be, after this, they may be looking at something with 160. So they're still getting it in. I heard that it will be either at the end of this year, December, or between January and February. Now, that will make sense to me because PBC is doing the Shakur versus Tio. As I always say, put an asterisk next to Tio because we know how Tio get down. But they're trying to make them two the headliner. And they've separated now the Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach fight. So and they're saying that that could be possibly the last PBC's pay-per-view. So that's why I'm saying, as far as for the year. So that's why I'm saying I'm thinking either January or February. One of those two will have it. And I'm very surprised that a lot of these fights, they're not really too much focused on Vegas. I'm hearing that Texas and the East Coast are the stables in which they want to have the fights
Well,
in.
you know what's going on in Vegas, right? Let me get this real quick.
Oh,
Big
yes.
Dog Willie with the $10 in the super chat. Great news. I told you so. T-shirts are on sale for $15. To my homies in the chat, Miss Joette and Slogan One can have their face on the front and back of the t-shirt. Tank and Paul signature on it. Shout out Big Dog Willie for the $10 in the super. All right, go ahead, Key. I ain't mean to cut you off, but I know you had the T on it for me.
Oh, no, 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 no. I definitely understand. And shout out to Miss Joette. Don't do my girl. Don't do her. But anyway, um yeah, so they're looking at more venues outside of the box because I mean outside of Vegas because Vegas is in trouble. So for the
Mm-hmm.
past few months I've been telling people about Vegas, a lot of the casino and hotels, the CEOs of these hotels are being investigated for money laundering. But we know that too, a lot of them gave money to Trump. So I don't know if it'll go that far because a lot of people like Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and Instagram donated to Trump and his lawsuit went away. I don't know if y'all know that. So I'm not sure how deep will this will go, but another issue is Ticketmaster. And now
No, let's talk about it. Let me ask you this before we get into
yes.
T. Okay, what you let me see. Should I let you go first or ask the question?
No, go ahead.
Because is it strange that after that Canelo Crawford fight that Ticketmaster come out with that bot stuff when everybody was talking about how funny them tickets was moving the whole time?
Yes, yes. And so I think it's also strange, and I don't want to be that person, but I was talking about them ticket sales that whole up to the whole fight and encouraging people to buy it and going by the discounted prices. And so I know for a fact that a lot of those resale tickets were dumped at the last minute. And on top of that, they were discounted prices.
Oh, shout
So
out Keisha's three six
oh,
three
go
in the
ahead.
building. What up, Keisha? Thank you for stopping by. What's going
So
on?
So I have a question mark next to that fight. I have a lot of question marks, but Ticketmaster, for those that people that don't know, is under investigation regarding resale tickets and bots.
Uh-oh.
And people and bots, go ahead and get your get that. Hey
Okay.
Dondrick.
Shout out to Donick Nim with the $10 in the super chat. He says, Big Dog Willie be kissing that dog in the mouth. Shirts on sale right now. I'm calling Pete on you. Shout out Dondrick Nim.
I'm so done. I'm so done. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't right.
Y'all silly.
So what they're doing, what they're investigating is the bots. Bots are so the resellers will be the original middleman, but now these people have found a way to essentially cut them. You know what I'm saying? In front
And
of the
just
line.
right.
Exactly, and jack up the prices, buy the tickets in bulks, and sell it at their own prices until they can't anymore. So during the week leading up to the Bud and Canelo fight, even up to a few days prior to it, there was a massive offloading. And so I do find that to be very suspicious, of course, what's going on. And now that I know that PBC in Top Rank as well, if y'all don't know, Emiliano Vargas is fighting in Mexico. Xander Zayas is fighting in Puerto Rico. And these are not bad things, but I find it very suspicious that these boys that have a following in that region as far as the Hispanics go in Vegas, Arizona, New Mexico, that whole region right there. They're now being offshored to overseas fights. And I'm scratching my head a little bit about that. Because why not have it in Vegas? Neverette and them did excellent in Vegas, in Valdez. So I'm looking at that.
Because
Also,
Vegas might be
Pitbull.
too hot right now, Key.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that it's a lot of stuff going and think about it like this too, 2 cents. Vegas economy is suffering. So
Yeah.
Vegas, Jersey, Miami, in Texas, certain parts, certain cities, I want to say Dallas, really. But really those three, Vegas, Jersey, and Miami are in a slump. And so I'm not surprised that they gave the red carpet to Tank and Jake Paul with whatever that they want to do because they need the money, they need the tourism, and they need that economy boost. How many days that whatever how many days that that's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very shocked that they are looking outside of the box for Vegas. The other ones, because have you heard any other Vegas fights?
No.
Oh yes, exactly. Nothing else is coming up in Vegas for a minute. We got Boots on the East Coast, Tank going to Miami, Shakur and Tio is going to New York City. Pitbull and Lamont is going to Texas. Allegedly, at least for right now, that's what we know. And then Virgil Ortiz is where? Texas. So everybody is kind of moving around Vegas right now. And that's shocking because they just had a really good fight with Canelo and Bud. So just something food for thought to keep y'all eye on. That's all.
How
I
many
find it.
fighters besides Canelo gonna be able to bring people out to Vegas like that too?
I
And
mean,
then
no,
you have to
yeah,
say
that's
the
true.
economy and all of that stuff.
But they could still scale it down because I think what did Pacquiao and them still did what like a $10 million gate? That's still considered successful. They didn't lose any money on that Pacquiao fight in Barrios. So I
Mm.
find it very suspicious that now all of a sudden everybody is working around that. And I get it, Emiliano Vargas and them is their prospects and everything, but at the same time, they have a following. Y'all have to like I need y'all to think outside of social media. The Vargas family, like we know how his daddy was. You understand? And so for him to be featured on Luis Alberto Lopez card. It's he's fighting, I forget the other guy's name, but they're fighting in Mexico. I find that to be very interesting because all of them boys can fight in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? And they will come
Yeah.
out at a smaller scale and support them. And so for Top Rank to veer
But
off
because
of
Top
that,
Rank don't have a network though, that might be the issue.
but but they still are able to put they're still putting on Xander Zayas and them on the zone. They remember they got that the zone whatchamacallit.
Hold on.
So
Shout
they
out
could still
Juke
air it
in
on
the
there.
building. What up, Juke?
Hey Queen.
And let me get the super chat real quick. Shout out to Gap Tooth Games with the 4.99 in the super chat. He says, "Peace and blessings. Just tuned in. Dropped a new vid on the rise and fall of Adrian Broner earlier. Check it out later and let me know what you think." I'm gonna say something about Adrian Broner later, but go ahead, Keith. Or what's up, Juke? What you got for the show?
Oh, hey y'all, how y'all doing?
We're good. We're good. How are you?
Evening, ladies. Hey, Two
Hey
Cent.
Queen.
Hey, Key with T. Yeah. So it's so funny as you're talking. I'm looking up, like I was, doing my little research about it, and like this lawsuit, this is from the Federal Trade Commission. This is very recent. And like this is crazy. They're accusing them of like misrepresenting things and making money off of the resellers and it's so I'm wondering what particular shows are included in that. So yeah, that's a thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
And
whole
this was after the Canelo Crawford fight.
yeah, because I'm saying so I'm on the Federal Trade Commission's website, and this was so when did they fight? What day would they fight? Do y'all remember?
September 13th.
This went up September 18th.
Yep.
And yeah, so I don't know if it's linked to that specifically.
I think it's accumulation of things because I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it can involve music too. So I think it'll be both. But as y'all see though, there hasn't really been too much talking. I mean, not to cut you off, Queen, but um um what's his name? Turkey. Guess what he just announced?
What?
What?
A comedy show in
Oh, yeah,
Saudi
yeah, yeah.
Arabia with Kevin Hart, Chris Tucker, Bill Burr, who I absolutely love. I love all three of those comics,
That's a
but it's
big
like a
deal
whole
too.
line. Yes, so I'm very like
It's a
I'm
big
just
deal. They don't want those comedians to do that. They don't want them to go over there. Some comedians turned it down. Like it's like a big thing in the world of comedy, I guess.
but do you see how they're redirecting everything
Yeah.
From where the mecca of boxing was, as far as Vegas go, where everybody go, and now they're pushing it all the way because this is technically Riyadh season from October to March, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of like what we've been saying from the jump. I remember when we were saying it. I never get like I think a few of us been saying it. I think you've been saying it. 2 Cents been saying it. Me, KO. I don't know if it's anyone else has been saying like that is the goal. It's like okay, the United States has been the mecca of entertainment industry, and boxing has been pivotal to Vegas. And so when we're talking about how Vegas is not getting as many shows, well, that's because Vegas only got the really big shows, right? And so and that's why I kept stressing how people were like rooting for their own demise, right?
Yes.
Without knowing it, like you're so invested in this little small YouTube war, and they know how to weaponize that, which is we learned. Well, we've been known, but confirmed earlier. There's been a lot of money put into some of these arguments, right? These are not organic. Some of this issue with certain fan bases is not organic. It's pushed by money, and because the market is at stake. And people have fell right into it, right? Like you're so busy trying to win an argument online for your favorite YouTube channel and a boxer that you hardly know that you literally assisted in helping something that your predecessors and ancestors helped build, right? American boxing was built off the backs of a lot of great black American fighters, great Mexican fighters, and it's like this outfit comes in. It's like, okay, we're gonna take over that, but because he was able to, give enough money to a few people, they was like, yeah, turkey, bow, right? It's like it was so crazy. I said this, they were, bow, turkey, and I'm like, do you take a step? But at the end of it's like I want to win this argument, and I want to like stick it to the man and stick it to this group, and you're so like you have this tunnel vision. You can't see that someone's robbing everything that our predecessors built.
Look, but so look. Now you said this. Now look, peep game, queen, and both queens. Look at this. So I heard that what they're attempting to do is do a 80-20 split to where the promoters of TKO and Zafa, however you say it, will get the 80%, and they will be given the fighters a 20% base cut based off of the revenue, and they're codifying it in as, oh, we're gonna help build up the prospect, build these fighters and stuff up, because they got like Callum Walsh, Brandon Adams. There's a couple fighters that they got right now who really don't have high profiles, but I heard that the split is like 80-20. So I'm not surprised that Tio and Shakur is fighting on a PBC card, and PBC is putting that on in conjunction with
because why they not fighting on TKO?
Exactly, because
and
because of that split.
And their previous actions helped. Like I said, this is bigger than what, like, I feel like people they have such a hate for particular groups. They it's like you cut off your nose to spite your face. That's what people have done. And it's like, but they like, oh, I'm gonna stick it to these, I don't know, these PBC fans, these tape fans. I'm gonna stick it to them so bad. And it's like, okay, the thing that you claim to love, you're like, you literally just helped reverse all the progress that's been made over the last few decades. So what that bill would do, so let's say, okay, it's gonna be 80-20. 80 to the promoters, 20 to the fighters, right? Let's say that's it. That's the case. I'm sure there's a lot of nuance and specifics we're missing, but excuse me, for sake of argument, let's say that's it, right? That is a return to the old days when we hear about the Black Murderers Row. When we hear about how fighters were fighting 10, 15, 10 times a year because they couldn't make ends meet. And that is kind of in line with how this new administration is, right? Is weakening workers' rights, right? Is doing all those things and this is kind of congruent with that, which is why they figured this is the best time, because of the administration is more likely to be supportive of that measure. But as I kept saying, this is so much bigger than what people want to recognize that it is. And
That's what I was
so
trying to tell them earlier, Ju.
yeah, and they don't want to. They're not listening. Yeah, Turkey, he put on a good fight. Yeah, it's like it's not. I've told people Turkey is a what would you call it? What's that? It's a what do you call it? Oh,
Opportunist.
he's an opportunist, but he's a Trojan horse.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving you a few good, decent, not even great fights. Let me be honest. Like I don't think it's a great fight. Like he has some few good fights, and I don't care. He gave me a fight, but you got to think about, okay, what is it attached to? And you accepted this gift, and you brought the Trojan horse, and I don't know who everybody knows the Iliad. I might be going
They
beyond
should. You
what
might be
some
talking
people's
over their head.
understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But you probably guys know what I'm referencing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the Greeks were trying to figure out how to beat the Trojans, and they gave them this Trojan horse, and they said,
The
"Oh,
wooden horse.
it's a
Getting them
gift from
inside.
God." That's because remember, Troy had these high walls, these beautiful high walls. No one can penetrate them. And so what they did is they created this big, gigantic, like I don't know, structure that is like a big statue. And they were like, "Oh, the gods built it. That's the only way the gods can build it." And they brought the Trojan horse inside of their city, beyond their impenetrable walls. And what happened? They went to sleep, and all the Greek soldiers hopped out of that Trojan horse and slaughtered them. And that's exactly what he did, which is doing. And now you're seeing Las Vegas fights. Why? Because the fights that would have been in Vegas are now going to be in Saudi Arabia. And guess what? So now he's moved you to the outskirts. This is a dedicated, thought out plan. And people online, some of these social media accounts, YouTubers, they were peons in that process. And this is just my theory. And they got a little check, a little money, and Turkey, and did just I can, stick it to the tank fans. And you missed the bigger picture. You literally brought in the man who's going to like conquer everything, right? And we see our fighters back in the day who couldn't get paid. We saw Sweet Pea retire in a way that like it hurts my heart to this day. And all you did was help them bring that reality back.
Mm-hmm.
But they were so silly, and the hubris was so big. And I just want to stick. You literally, you had the last generation left this in our hands, and we dropped the ball.
Right.
And that's just how I see it. And that's why every time I see people, I just want to troll. Like you will troll your way back into slavery if you keep on playing. Like they don't see it. They don't see it.
No, they don't. I think the barriers is going to be from inside. I believe that because we're already starting to see the small cracks in it, right? Because this whole lead up to and shout out to Bud, this whole lead up to the Canelo and Bud fight showed me a lot of things about the different personalities and how there has been a line drawn and people on both sides, you know what I'm saying? They're picking alliances. So you have Oscar de la Hoya going towards the top rank in PBC way. And it's pretty much Eddie Hearn. He trying to be down with both, alliances, but he's, always going to choose Turkey, it appears, but him and Dana White got some issues. You see what I'm saying? So there's like, I feel as though what's going to end up happening, and I don't wish this. I hope everybody could be can be cool, but I think I'm starting to see it, and I truly believe that the main focal point will be UFC, and I think that boxing will be is not going to be as is not going to be up there. Not to mention when Dana White, the report came out, if you guys want to look that up, a few weeks ago that I had talked about, Netflix had told Dana White basically, we only want UFC. We don't know what you're talking about with this boxing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So he's
Wow. So they thought they was
already
going to piggyback and do boxing and
exactly,
UFC. See, they trying to
exactly.
play. They trying to play.
Exactly. Like you guys can look that up now. Netflix, Dana White, UFC, boxing. And so they are under the impression that, okay, Dana White is trying to put it as a package deal when you only have one fight and then you're signing, and this is no disrespect to Callum and Brandon and the rest of the fighters that they're signing, but there is like, okay, and what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like there's really not, and then by them not, and this is a disservice. I will say this. If T.O. and Shakur is not on Netflix, you see what I'm saying? If T.O., because we still don't even know what network they'll be fighting on. So if T.O. and Shakur is not on Netflix, or, then what is going to happen?
Wouldn't they?
You
Why they wouldn't
know?
be on Amazon Prime?
Well, let's see. Well, why by them having that deal, because I think Riyadh is still involved in that. So I would assume, I would hope that it would be a PBC Prime, whatchamacallit, since Turkey
But
burned his bridge with Netflix.
so
Cause
we ain't
I
gonna see no
I
more turkey
haven't
fights on
heard,
Netflix.
huh?
We're not gonna see no more turkey fights on Netflix.
I'm not sure. They said the only way that they were able, now this is just what I heard. The only way that they were able to salvage the Canelo and Bud fight on the Netflix deal was because Dana White and what's that other company called that Turkey worked for?
Sela, yeah,
Sela,
Sela.
they were able to come in and kosher the deal. That's
Wow.
the only, because remember, Turkey, it fell through.
Right,
And
right.
then what ended up happening, which I think was a disservice to Canelo, Canelo wasn't able to have his fans, because Canelo got that deal in Mexico, where no matter what, they are able to watch his fights for
Right.
free. They did not have this with this special. And I guess they were banking on the fact that everybody has Netflix, but Canelo was mad about that from what I heard. Because he prides himself in making sure that his fans is able to watch his fights. He got that deal. So it's just a
Damn.
lot. It's just a lot. I'm curious to see how they're going to pull this off, but in my opinion, and especially with how Turkey is moving and putting everything in Riyadh, from the comedy shows to flag football. Not too much. He got a partner for the Shakur versus
But
Tio.
it just doesn't make sense, Key. Like, who's going to Saudi Arabia to watch this stuff?
He's banking on the overseas crowd. But
But
it's
it'd be 10
interesting. I
people at them
know.
Well,
fights.
I
this is what
know.
I think too. Like, right? Like, okay, United States, which is our tourism is dropping because of present things that's happening domestically, and so he's trying to make. So remember, I think I mentioned this a couple weeks back. They can no longer rely on oil only as their largest commodity that's bringing money into the country, right? They're trying to diversify. And so they're using a lot of money to invest in entertainment, right? And hotels and suites. Like they're really investing in it. And boxing isn't the first try, right? It was soccer and a whole bunch of other things, because just like people travel, like even if they don't get Americans, they're trying to get other people to come. Like the same way people are traveling to Vegas, they feel like, oh, maybe they'll travel to Saudi Arabia. Now, I'm not saying that that's all he's trying to do, right? Because I'm not saying he's going to just stop all boxing in the United States. So just to I saw a point in the chat saying like, oh, I'm being alarmist because, oh, well, why would he have this fight with Canelo and Bud in Vegas if that was the only, that's that's like saying, well, why would he build a Trojan horse to get people on board? Dude, that's literally what, that's the Trojan horse, to say, hey, I'm making this good fight, jump on board with me, right? Like that's one of the last things he has to do. So, I mean, you have people saying, yeah, Turkey's trying to make the best fights. And I'm not saying he's not going to make some good fights, but that type of money that was spent, it's about to go downhill. And that's why they're
Yes.
passing that bill. Like he's gonna splurge, right? Like Eddie Hearn said it. Like we've seen so many iterations of this. That's why I'm like, I don't know how long these people have been watching boxing. People come in, they overspend so they can get as many people on the chessboard. Once they got as many people on the chessboard, what do? They cut everybody's funds. Didn't Eddie Hearn do this a couple times? Didn't Dissolve cut pay? We've seen this 1,000 times. How do y'all? So they're like, oh, so again, and you can already see the transition, because remember, they were like, Turkey makes the most. Turkey makes the biggest and best fights and all these loaded cards, right? And then when we got Canelo versus Bud, the card was lackluster. And what did his fans say? Oh, well, that don't matter. Only people care about the main event. But you see how he already got y'all to settle for something? He came out selling this thing. And now the you notice the cards are getting weaker and weaker. Now he
Let
has
me
one
ask y'all
more
a
card.
question too. Let me say this too, Drew, not to cut you off, but let me ask y'all this, right? Y'all remember that fatal flop card when he did that promo video for Ryan and Devin, where he made Devin dress up like a lawyer and act like a lawyer? Can
Yeah.
either one of y'all tell me why he didn't have a promotion like that? And even with the Fury fight, y'all remember he used to make all those videos and all these promo videos and all that. Why he didn't do anything like that for the Canelo Crawford fight?
The same way the Canelo Crawford fight had a weaker undercard, because it's you invest the money and then you slowly pull it back. You slowly pull it back because he now has enough fighters, right? Because Canelo and Bud was enough to like really promote and get people on board. So now it's, again, once I got you, I don't need to continue to overspend. And that's why I kept telling people, and I don't want to go to that, I don't on that topic yet, but when people talking about, oh, you take retire, blah blah blah, the only incentive for some of these guys to get paid more was because he was being compared to someone who's getting paid a lot and can earn a lot. That's a market thing. So he had to pay over market. If that market says boom, 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 and dies, guess what?
Mm-hmm.
He has no incentive to pay you over the market. He gets to reset the market, and that's what he's doing.
I've been saying that. Shout out to Mr.
Right.
Greg with the $5 in the super chat. Good evening, 2 cents. You got Jupe and Key cooking. They have come with the aprons, the chef hats, the pots, the pans, utensils, plates to serve a full course. Shout out, Mr. Greg.
Hey, Mr. Greg.
Hey, Mr. Greg.
Salute to
Mr.
you.
Greg.
But do
We
you
miss you.
let me throw this wrench in there real quick, Jude. What y'all think about this? So at the same time, while all this stuff is being announced, guess who's back in boxing? And I cooked on it just a little bit earlier.
Who?
But Rock Nation.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. I
as we're
seen it with
Oh
seeing,
Edge
yeah.
turn.
Oh
so Rock
baby,
Nation is
they
now
all the oldies but goodies coming back, and I'm
right.
let you
And
finish.
see,
I got something to add to that.
now isn't it weird? Now, like peep game. It's weird to me, and I'm just watching, I'm just putting the puzzle pieces together. That's all I'm doing. But it's weird to me that Rock Nation is back after they lost the bid on a casino in New York. Shout out
Facts.
to Nas because Nas just got his. Shout out to Nas. I mean, God, Lee Nas. Shout out to Nas, boy. But Jay-Z and them just lost their bid in New York, right? So now they're partnering with none other than Eddie Hearn to build a cultural and a to basically beef up or increase the visibility of fighters. And so when I went down the roster for a Matchroom, you got Bam, you got Khalil Cole, you got Raymond Ford. There's a few fighters up over there, but who can really take it to the top outside of a Boots Ennis? Because remember, Eddie has thrown everything behind Boots, and Boots is delivering. We
Right.
can't knock Boots with that one. You know what I'm saying? He is delivering. Shout out to Boots. But who else is going to be on that level that Rock Nation could come in and build? And I just find it very interesting that Eddie Hearn decided to move with Rock Nation to do this and not go in the back pocket of a Turkey a la Sheik. That's really, now that told me a lot as well. What do y'all think about that?
I
So
think
what
that
is not Rock Nation gonna do exactly?
Rock Nation is going to increase the fighters' visibility, and oh, it's going to be centered around U.S. So they're going to help Matchroom fighters be visible in the U.S. And of course, they use the word cultural. So I'm thinking that they're really going to be focused on Hispanic and Black fighters to put them out there. So possibly Bam Bam got a following and Boots has a following. You got the rest of them, okay. But as far as in the US, we know that these two and Virgil, but Virgil is not, Virgil is with Golden Boy, but we know that Bam and
You
Boots
think that's gonna
got.
help them?
I'm not sure. I just find it very interesting that Roc Nation tried before. They failed because they set up my boo boo. Period.
Exactly.
And
Key,
then
thank
turning
you.
around, and now they're back. They've linked up with Eddie Hearn out of all freaking people. And now they're trying to increase it in the USA after that casino deal went bust in New York City, which I felt I'm 50-50 on that. But what do y'all think about that?
So I
Gotta find
think
somewhere to launder that money. Nah.
I mean, I don't know. So one huge criticism of Matchroom has been, and I've even criticized them too, is that they have not done as well for American fighters, right?
They have no clue.
They really don't. Like they have not done, like, every time they get an American fighter, they just don't, like, they got Boots, right? That was a gift to them, because I can't say they built Boots. I feel like Showtime did a lot of building Boots, right? Or not even building, but like really putting him on the stage to be seen. And so Eddie has, and then the one big fight that Boots had, it had to be made in conjunction with who? PBC. Eddie hasn't been able to deliver, but he's trying to tap into that like cultural currency that Eddie don't have because he's from the UK, right? So I think he needs him for that reason, and maybe he also has to invest because he has other fight. He understands a lot of his fighting pool. He clearly doesn't want to go back to the UK. We've noticed that because he ain't been back since. Okay, so he's trying to stay here and boost from that point. I think that's what he's trying to do. And then also, like, instead of standing with Turkey, well, Turkey kind of already like showed his hand. Remember when he prematurely said that he's here to wipe all these other promoters out? So Eddie's like, okay, I gotta figure out, like, I can't put all my eggs in this basket with Turkey. And I've noticed, I don't know if people notice this, but like I feel like the Turkey, like I said, the Riyadh season is a particular season. These fights have slowed up. We have not gotten like a ton of fights. Like I said, I think that card with Benavidez is great. But again, every card he makes is good. It's like
in Saudi Arabia.
Every great card he has a ton of PBC guys on it. He has not been able to make a really good card without him. Right? So that's what's happening. So I think that's kind of what's happening. I think he's trying to figure out if he needs to, how do I help like really boost Boots, which is a good thing. I don't know who else he has. Who else does Eddie have that's an American fighter?
Bam.
And Bam. He got Bam. Okay, so Bam.
What y'all think about Khalil Cole?
I'm interested to see him fight. I know he's coming up. He's gonna be fighting on Boots card. So I'm interested. I think has some good potential. I want to see more of him.
And then they got Ray Savage, Raymond Ford. They got Jaleel Hackett.
Okay, so that makes sense.
But my thing is with I just find it interesting timing, for the simple fact that he got on his side both Dana White and Turkey, but he decided to go the Roc Nation way. Now, of course, with these things,
Dana White don't know what the hell he's doing in boxing. And
also,
you know what? Dana White don't even look like he want to do boxing.
No, he really don't. And Roc Nation is really just like to help him, like, basically do the job of promoter. Because I think one thing I've noticed from Eddie, I used to see Eddie do a gazillion interviews. Eddie has gotten kind of like, he's gotten used to not have to do all that work anymore. Like, think about it. We don't see him a lot of interviews from Eddie no more. We don't see him.
Yes, we do. Eddie stay in the spotlight. He
always does, but like, he's not the main. Like, he's not.
I get what you're saying, Jupe. In and out.
He's taking a backseat to Turkey.
Yeah.
And Dana White. He's taking a backseat. He's not. Like, there was a time when you could, like, Eddie talked too much, right? And then also to another point I want to make, Key, when you say the timing of Roc Nation coming back, one thing I noticed during the Canelo versus Bud build-up is that, and now it got me thinking about that split, that 80-20 split the fighters. I was like, I feel like they spent a lot of money on that fight with old school. Like, I feel like a lot of people got paid off that just wasn't the fighters. Because you notice, like, okay, during the press conference, they had Max Kellerman, they had all the old school traditional guys that came from HBO, the guys who like preferred the old way when they can force the fighters to say what they want, and they can, like, really. Remember, they was like praising Turkey and praising Dana, and like they made
very disingenuous.
The whole press, like a lot of the questions, if you notice, were not even to the fighters. It was Turkey and Dana, and it was like, and it reminded me of that return to the old days where like the fighters, you're just my fighter, and you go fight for me. We're the stars. And I'm like, they added a whole bunch of like, and then if you look at like all the people who are commentating, you had a lot of names that you have to spend a lot of money on. And so that's why, because that's why a lot of the boxing traditional media didn't like Heyman in this new way, because they didn't get to eat as much, right? The fighters got the bulk of it. Now, if he changes that, all he can hire 10, 12 personalities to talk and have their opinion, and they get to be the stars. And just kind of mention, and talk about the fighters. Yes, we're here, but they get to pocket it more off these fighters. And I'm like, and I noticed that switch during that build-up. Cause I'm like, what? I want to hear more from Canelo and Bud. But they were just taking up so much time. And I'm sitting here like, okay, y'all don't notice that?
Canelo had to check Max Kellerman too.
Yes.
Because he was glazing so hard.
He was trashing. The man was trashing boxing in one of the biggest boxing events. And Canelo like, what? Like, how dare you? And I'm sitting here like, y'all don't realize how, y'all don't see what they're doing? But yeah, Turkey's so good for boxing. Okay, y'all gonna learn. Like, folks, you know what? Hard head maker, you know what? Yeah, they gonna
I've been saying this since this whole thing started. I've been saying this whole time. And I've been saying TKO gonna turn into Hunger Games.
No, and it's really starting to look like that. I'm just interested in seeing, because the competition, and I think people really need to understand this. The competition is not PBC. PBC is pretty much solidified, right? In my opinion, the competition is MVP. And so TKO, Riyadh, they're really going up against Jake Paul in MVP. And I don't think people really understand how this fight with Tank versus Jake Paul. They also have a fight card, I think it's tomorrow. And then they have other fight cards. They just did one in Florida. And they're gonna continue to have these for next year as well. That's the competition. And I'm not sure how Eddie and Dana and all of them is really going to corral Jake Paul and MVP Jupe in 2 cents. I'm really curious to see how this is about to go down.
Well, I heard MVP and PBC about to team up, and
that I was about to say that too.
Tank sacrificing himself to save American boxing. Y'all crucifying that man.
Oh my God, I saw a take on that. I've seen so many takes, but it seems to me that PBC and Jake Paul, and I've seen kind of like, even though I don't think Tank likes Jake Paul per se, I think he sees like that they kind of have like two goals that kind of goes together, right? And I think that he's like, I'd rather align myself with Jake Paul than this guy, because Jake Paul really is. I will give him credit. I don't like him, but he has I won't say I don't like him, but whatever. He's not like, I'm not into his fights, but he has been doing a lot for women's boxing, which I do appreciate, and I feel like he really has been investing and using his celebrity to bring attention to the sport, right? And keeping it here and getting people the money they're supposed to be getting paid, and he's been doing right by these fighters. I haven't heard a single fighter fight on his undercard or fight on his card and complain, right?
Facts.
One, and he's not, disrespecting them, talking crazy. Like I will give him that. So it seems like there is some type of like alliance with those two. But I just think like I feel like with Turkey, I feel like people just gave Turkey way too much a lot of leeway, because they didn't like, which is crazy.
But how could we see this coming, but they didn't? Like, I don't understand that.
That's a whole nother discussion too, saying, because right, like, how is it we can see this and everything we're saying? We all said months ago it's coming to pass and they can't see it. It's because they were too maybe. Well, first of all, I don't know.
Right, it don't make sense.
I have no idea. What I do know is that I'm very interested to see how this plays out with MVP versus the other newcomers on the block, including Roc Nation.
Shout out to Mr. Greg with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Gentlemen, there is nothing more attractive than intelligent black women speaking real game. Y'all pay attention." Shout out, Mr. Greg.
Salute, Mr. Greg.
Not only
And
do y'all need to pay attention, but y'all need to punch that like and subscribe button. Be sure to help support the channel by hitting the cash app at $2 boxing or leaving your 2 cents in the super chat below, like Mr. Greg just did. If you enjoying ladies' night, me, Jupe, Key, ladies in the chat, the link is pinned to the top if you want to come up and give your 2 cents. What you were saying, Key?
I'm really and to get back, because of course the hottest topic right now is Tank Davis and the things that the the rant he went on today. And I just have to say this, not to get off a topic, but I really have to address this. I've sat back and watched since April of some of the craziest comments of some of the same people that Tank Davis has been cussing out. They have called this man everything, everything, everything. And when he pop off, a lot of y'all like to play victim. And I'm getting tired of it. I'm really getting tired of it.
Preach.
I've seen y'all have said everything, especially when that whole situation came out between him and his child's mother. I saw ESPN write an article. I don't know if it was ESPN, it was somebody wrote an article saying the reason why Tank put his hands on his child's mother was because of their son's sexuality. The baby is what, 9 months old? And I'm like, are we really doing this
What?
today? And that,
Whoa, whoa,
yes,
whoa,
Jupe,
whoa, 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 whoa,
yes,
whoa. You
yes.
saw this? Wait, they said you okay? You saw who say what? Say it one more time.
Somebody put it on social media, an article that said that Tank Davis put his hands on his child's mother due to their son's sexuality, who is still in diapers. I mean, I've seen just everything being thrown at this man. And I'm just like, wait a minute. That's not true. He never put his hands on his child's mother. Like, y'all didn't. I told y'all, whoever follows, I told y'all what happened. I told y'all that it wasn't going to go anywhere. Tank was bogus. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Because we know Tank is promiscuous. You know, he dibs and dabs. He does his thing. You feel me? But it was no type of violence, which is why that case never went anywhere. And for at least on Tank's part, he was, from my
Look,
understanding,
check this out. Here we go,
he
Jupe.
was
My
breaking
bad,
up.
Key, not to
Go,
cut you off.
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, two
This
cents.
is, can you hear me?
Yep.
This is the Baltimore 2 ABC News. Gervonta Davis allegedly punched ex after expressing insecurities about the sexuality of their son. So it was
Are
article.
you serious?
And that baby
Yeah.
is in diapers. Can't even put a sentence together.
I think I
Like,
talked
And
about it
that
on my
was,
there's no
own.
sex. There's no such thing as a sexuality of a child. Like they don't have a sexuality yet. They're babies.
thank you. But that's what they did to him. And I've seen so many people run with this. His so-called, oh, the people that is always, let's see how it plays out. Let's see what goes on. Knowing that this is the same woman, the same child's mother that he gets into it with all the time. Okay. And that they just got that type of relationship. They just can't leave each other alone. Obviously, clearly, he put another baby in her. Okay. But for them to go stoop that low, and then before waiting, and there was people such as myself saying, no, that's not the case. He never put his hands on her. None of that even happened. You know what I'm saying? And they ran with the story and said all this stuff about this man. and then turn around and he does what he wants to do and say, you know what, F it. I'm finna fight Jake Paul. I'm done with that. You know what I'm saying? And now they just clamoring on to him more and more. I don't, you know what, at this juncture in his life, I don't blame him. If that man want to be done in 8 weeks or eight, however long he said, let him be done. Y'all find a way to make some money off of other people's name. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and big up Shakur. Y'all love Lamont Roach so much. Make sure y'all buy him and Pitbull's fight. Boots and his tickets is on sale. Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz tickets is on sale. Make sure y'all buy Chris Eubank Jr. Pay-per-view. That's where I'm
And
at, cause I get it. Like, bruh, the man is doing an exhibition that I heard. The whisper I heard was that he's not done boxing. But if he gonna go out, go ahead and go out.
You know what? That is so like evil to bring your children. Okay, so I've seen a lot of nastiness late, like and again, I'm not that new to boxing YouTube because I come on. I used to watch for like at least a year or two before, or even longer. I never like came on panels and commented as much, but like I've seen some nastiness, and I've been seeing a lot of nastiness lately. But I will say, like some of the nastiness I've ever seen is towards that man. And I was like, I mean, yes, I can understand that he can be a little butthole sometimes. He can be a little rockhead. I get it. But like the fact, why would you make it about an infant? Like that is like, what is wrong with you? Like I would never. That's just cruel. That's a lot to. I don't know. I don't even know what to say. That's crazy. Like, and I'm not ever defending him because I'm a woman and I do not believe in domestic violence. So when the accusations came out, I'm like, I pray he didn't do it because if he did, whatever he get, he deserve it. Because I know I ain't let nobody put their hands on me, right? But I didn't know. I don't know the details. I understand. Previously, she said she made it up, whatever. I try to stay away from that and let the truth come out. But what's crazy is that I feel like he's not the first boxer to have these allegations, but he is the only boxer right now, currently, that gets like that heat from it. Cause like no one else, and that's why people are like, oh, we just troll to get under your skin. But you see other people having issues. It's just like at some point, you either got to be a real human being or you're not. And when you see other people have allegations and you don't speak on it and you act like you didn't see it, but then you hammer on this man who's already dealing with people talking about his freaking infant, like a toddler. I don't know how old the baby is now, but that's
It
just
ain't one. That I do. I don't think he's one.
right because he just had that
He
baby.
just had, yeah, she
They
just
don't
had
get
that
it.
baby not too long ago.
That's I'm sorry. Like at some point, as human beings, we gotta leave the kids out of it. Like I don't care. There's nothing no fighter should be doing for you to like bring that up
And
or
that's
even
what
make something up like that.
I was saying before you had came up here, you I was telling 2 cents. I said but when I used to watch Floyd fight, I only watched him fight. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a spectator doing all of this, and technology has changed. But the type of hate that I've been seeing, like, you don't have to like the fight. Okay, just don't watch it. The WBA, I've seen people call on for the WBA to strip Tank. They not finna strip Tank. They
I
make
saw
too
that
much money.
today. Oh my god. See?
Yes,
I
they
saw
make too
that
much
today.
money.
And someone in the comment section said, well, they're like, he just defended his title in March. That's 6 months. Like that. No, but the rules say you're supposed to defend it this amount of time. They said, well, you do understand that Bud hadn't defended his title even longer. And Roach hadn't defended. He's like, yeah, well, I mean, them two. And he's like, no, you can't just say them two. How can you want to like we can't keep pretending like the scrutiny that he's getting is the same as everyone else. Like at some point, we gotta stop the lie. We get like the BS has to stop. I have never seen,
Exactly.
like I've never seen anyone call for someone to be stripped after 6 months after they just defended their title. Lamont has not defended his
Exactly.
title in about a year. I've never seen
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Exactly. And
And
so that's why I'm saying, like, the type of heat that he's getting um is different. This is different.
And that's what I'm saying. And they be like, well, I'm just trolling the fans. No, something, I don't know what he has to.
Nobody is even putting together, Jude, that everybody besides Devin, and I'm gonna put an asterisk by Devin because we don't know what he's gonna do after Norman. But everybody is now coming where? To the PBC.
Right. But you couldn't do a one fight for him though. Everyone is so okay. This is what was tripping me out. He ain't gotta go. He need to talk to Turkey Al-Sheikh. But now suddenly, when you want to fight Tio or you want to do something else, oh well, I don't, you don't gotta like. Where were the demands that Tio deal with Turkey Al-Sheikh? Because remember, Tio fell out with Turkey Al-Sheikh, and I heard that Turkey might be financing part of it. I don't know. We have to wait till more details come out. But Tio and Turkey had a whole fallout, and I already said,
because Tio clean out, Jude.
He did. He treated right, and I said Turkey. I said personally, Tio would be stupid to go to Saudi Arabia. Once you have challenged Turkey, you do not go to that country because you don't have any recourses, and like it's not the same.
He'll lock your ass up,
and there's nothing you can do. So I knew once you challenge that man, it would not be in your best interest to travel there. And I'm not saying anything about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I'm sure it's an amazing place, but we have seen there's evidence to suggest that if you are highly critical, like the whole freedom of speech, we think that's not a worldwide thing. That's not a worldwide thing. I've traveled the world. Trust me, it's not. It might not be the smartest decision to travel places that don't have certain protections for or protected speech, right? So the minute that Tio criticized that man and said all that, I'm like, yeah, he's not going to Saudi Arabia, or he would be silly to do so.
But you know what's crazy, Jude, is that like we literally will sit here and talk about Turkey Al-Sheikh and point out what he's doing word for word, bar for bar. I did a debate, right? That I won, but it got overturned. And I talked about Turkey, and it's like everything I pretty much said in the debate, he's checked it off the list. Like it literally happened. Like I don't understand why people can't see this. I can't understand why people are rooting and pushing and crying and snotting for Tank to go be with Turkey. It's like I don't know if they realize they don't realize they part of the agenda, or if they just got this group thing going.
Because they need him more than they need him more than he needs. And one thing about it, 2 cents, and I'm gonna put it out here. When Al Heyman walks away, Tank is done. So by Tank already saying that he's gonna retire, remember I said I heard that Tank is in the gym, he's still training, and I also heard that he will be fighting next year. Now that's just what I heard. Of course, things can change. But from what is appearing like, when Al Heyman leaves the sport, Tank Davis is done. Because Al Heyman has looked out for Tank in ways that y'all will never know. And Al Heyman took Tank underneath his wing after Floyd pulled that Fugazi stuff with him. And the other person that did that was Leonard Ellerbe. Took Tank underneath his wing as well with the business of boxing. So once Al Heyman is done, I'm pretty sure, like I'm 95% sure that Tank is done as well. Because that's how deep his loyalty lies for both him and Leonard Ellerbe. Like, I'm not even joking.
He's expressed that too.
No, I agree. And I think just from even the argument he had today online, it shows that like I think he takes this loyalty thing to a level that is no okay. So Tank is like one of those people who he's like the oldest of the new breeds, right? So he has a little bit of that old school stuff in him, where like he's dead serious with it. And so like this newer generation don't understand. I'm not trying to say the whole generation, because no one's I'm not saying the certain generations are a monolith, but one thing that's consistent with him is a certain level of loyalty. If you notice that every person he falls out with is because he feels like they were betrayed him or what, that's a very big thing with him. So yeah, I think he is, and I've noticed that too. As much as, and Floyd's one of my favorite fighters ever. I'm not saying as a person, I don't know him, I don't know what he does, but I will say this: Leonard Ellaby stayed by Tank. Al stayed by Tank. He separated from Floyd, and I've noticed that I have not seen Floyd do business with PBC since.
No, they been because I think Floyd and Al fell out because Al didn't want to do more of his exhibitions.
Right, and I think I do think that could be a part of it. Which Floyd don't need it specifically because he got taught the game, but I'm not. Part of me, I wouldn't be surprised if that's part of it. But
ooh, you know what I just thought of, Jude?
Uh-huh.
Not to cut y'all off. Ever since, hold on, now call me crazy. Maybe I'm missing something. But ever since that happened, because you said that they haven't been doing too many exhibitions, isn't it they walked away from the exhibition, right? Isn't it funny that after that happened that he hasn't been truly involved? I mean, PBC hasn't been involved with Floyd like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Isn't it
saying.
interesting? But no, isn't it interesting that that's when we start hearing those rumors about Floyd Mayweather business deals falling apart and not having the backing to where he's now going out suing people for calling him broke over an allegation of him doing it. It was a New York business deal that he was supposed to do and it fell through. And word on the curb was that he didn't have any money, like he didn't have the funds. Then he went through that stuff with Saudi Arabia. Wasn't that Saudi 2 cents?
He got kidnapped.
When he got kidnapped, and
He
remember
was in
we was
Dubai.
going
He was in
we was
Dubai.
gonna drive out there to go get him.
No,
Who said we were gonna try to?
no, we wasn't.
We was gonna go ride for Floyd. Like, hold on now. Y'all not finna just take Floyd.
That's when he got into it with when they were saying he was kidnapped. That's when he got on.
Wait a minute.
And got into it with Bill Haney.
Yes.
Hold on, I got a clip from that. Let me show y'all. Tell me, I got a clip from that. I'm gonna show y'all. Go ahead while
What you say, Jude?
I just thought about it. Isn't that when Tank and Floyd got into it? He said, "You got to pay me money," and I didn't understand what was going on.
All of that was like linear, girl. Everything happened around that time. This was like last year, cause me and 2 Cents was gonna go out there and go get Floyd, girl. We like y'all not just gonna kidnap Floyd.
Now I ain't gonna lie.
Have I ever needed your help?
You need some help? You need some help with your son?
Have I ever needed your help for anything?
You need some help with your son?
For some help?
You need some help the other motherfucking night? You need some help the other night? You need some help with your son?
Listen, your son need help tonight, not the other night.
You need some help with
Your
your
son needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Your son needs help tonight. Your daughter needs help tonight, you fool-ass earth man. Do not campaign. Everybody needs. Listen, my son needs.
You need some help?
Y'all, you a mess. What? Who created that? I forgot all about that, but you're right. Because even though I rock with Tank, but Floyd was my I love in the ring. I love Floyd, right? In the ring, right? But I do remember Tank, like him and Floyd, like going at each other, and him saying something about being kidnapped and somewhere in the Middle East or something. I didn't exactly understand what's going on, and I didn't.
Yes, girl.
But yeah,
about the jeweler. A jeweler ran off with the plug money or something, girl.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we was like, dang, we got to go out there and rescue Floyd, bro.
We was like, why Floyd fooling around in Dubai with them people? Why he
right? Like, why is you out there? Every time I hear the word Earthman, I think of Deem, because Deem, that is like his favorite. He be like, you fool. Shout out to Deem. I don't even know if he here, but shout out to Deem.
Hey, Deem.
Oh, salute Deem. Every time, because Deem be like, you fool Earthman on his lives. But yes, girl. So all of that started happening. So I'm just connecting the dots like, yo, now all of a sudden, and I just have to say this, y'all know my mother is older. So she grew up with both Tyson and Floyd. So when she heard about the Tyson and Floyd exhibition, now y'all know we got to be there next year. Unfortunately, I got to go to this fight because my mother is like, those her two guys right there, you know?
Well, I might be the oldest on here because I remember.
Girl, my mother love, when I say love Tyson. I mean, I love Tyson.
But yeah, I love me some Tyson and Floyd. Like listen, I have a whole bunch of favorite fighters in that era, but yeah, I will say though, it does seem like PBC went 100% behind Tank, and it just seemed like it kind of split. And I also feel like Mayweather Promotions never got back on their feet after Tank left.
Well, they never really tried to. You know, Floyd had a ton of fighters that he was fucking over, not paying them. They about to get evicted.
What's
They
that
can't
one
really
dude
fight.
at the higher weight class? 2 Cents and Juke. Badu Jack.
Yeah.
I think he
And
just got.
Bottle
Didn't he
Jack-
just get elevated?
Yeah, and that's what I said. Bottle Jack. And so this is what trips me out when people say Tank is only as big because of Floyd. I said, okay, that's the case. And everyone he co-signed should be just as big because Floyd had some good fighters. Bottle Jack is, I think, it might be a champion now. I don't know if he's still. Bottle Jack been doing his thing. And but the thing is that Tank is the only person of all people he well was the exception of Rolly, but now Rolly's I don't think Rolly's with Mayweather Promotions either, is he?
Nah, I think Rolly is with PBC.
Right. Well, he was always PBC, but so far it's like a promotional company. Is he still?
I think he's with PBC. Because every time I see Rolly in the gym, I don't see TMT on the bags.
Right. Okay. So the person who, and that's what they're like. Oh well, that's the reason why Tank was. That's not 100% true. Yes, a co-sign from Floyd is great, but the people from my recollection and looking back, I'm talking about from interviews, like Floyd was had a connection to all of that whole generation coming up. Shakur, Devin, all that. Actually, I think wasn't Devin trained by Floyd's dad or something? He was like the first one.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
Floyd.
was.
See, Devin, hold on. Shout out to Omega Red with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Hey, 2 Cents Boxing, what up, Omega Red?" Shout out to Andre Pitts with the $5 in the super chat. He says, "Support for Ladies Night." Shout out Andre Pitts.
Salute y'all. Salute Omega.
Salute y'all.
Yes, he was. Devin was with his father. What was you gonna say? 2 Cents.
Shout out Pork Chop with the $1.99 in the super chat. He says, "I support black businesses." Shout out Pork Chop with the support to the channel. What was y'all talking? What did you say? What did you say?
Devin being
Devin was supposed to be the one, right? That was supposed to be who allegedly Bill Haney say he wasn't trying to take what Floyd was offering because Devin wanted to be a boss. But the story goes that Floyd seen Tank and dropped Devin.
I mean,
and picked up Tank.
Yeah, well, I do know, like, cause think about it. Who would have had money to? We already know, like, Tank was not. He came from very, 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 very humble beginnings, right? So a kid like that is not going to have a Mayweather as a coach. And Floyd, and to my understanding, Haney had Mayweather Sr. as a coach as a teenager, right? That means that you have to have some investment. Like there are Boots wouldn't be able to do that. Like you I don't care how good of a talent, Bud wouldn't be able to do that. You that's money because you can't get training like that unless you have like you come from some wealth, and that's just or you built up to a point in the stage of boxing that like there are champions who couldn't get would not have been able to get Floyd Sr. as a coach, and the fact that Devin had him as a coach that early tells you the connections he had and all that. So that's dope. So I can see that. And I do know about that whole notorious sparring situation, which we did eventually see the whole sparring. And for years we were told Tank got beat up. I watched that sparring. I don't know where the beat or the up happened. But I saw skibbity pap. I saw some skibbity paps.
People still think that, Juke, even after seeing the sparring, they'll tell you that Devin whooped Gervonta's ass.
I feel like all the action, okay, it's sparring, right? I will say one. So what I saw from that sparring, and it was just so funny because it was like, let me tell you right now how you know that people know that sparring isn't what it was built up to be. Devin used to say, I beat the ish out of Tank in that sparring, right? I remember him saying that, like, I beat the ish out of him before we ever saw it. And then after it was released, he said, I was a 16-year-old kid who held my own. I'm like, wait, what? How we go from I beat the ish out of him, so I was a 16-year-old kid that held my own. So that tells me that, you know, you didn't do what you knew it. It's just you were promoting yourself off of that video, and that's all it was.
Yep.
but see
Right. And see, that's what people,
oh,
another
go ahead,
thing
two
people
cents.
don't take into like consideration, like these fighters, this is what I think happened, right? And it's my 2 cents. And I don't care what y'all saying. Y'all not finna shame me. I don't care if y'all think I'm protecting Tank. But I think that these
Mm-hmm.
fighters used his name to build and build and build, all while avoiding him to make the fight. And I don't think nobody's scared. I just think that, you know, we gonna maneuver around you and call you out, maneuver around you and call you out until either we catch you slipping at a vulnerable moment, or I'm ready to make this fight because I didn't collected all the little easy bags I'm about to get. So it's not like the contemporaries are going around, quote unquote, best fighting the best, challenging themselves. That's not what they're doing. They just running around plotting and scheming and planning and picking up accolades, which is what's giving them the pass. Because when their favorite fighters fight fighters, it don't matter who the champion was that they got it from. They don't jump through no hoops. They just like, it don't matter, they got the belt. But when other fighters get the belts, especially PBC fighters, they want to be like, oh, well, their champion was this, and who that person fought, and like they want to do all that. But I don't think people realizing like that's really what's going on. And people want to talk about this Bud Crawford era. That's the Bud Crawford era. Because you're telling me you can be great and be an all-time great and the best fighter, top 3 all-time great with 2 big fights on your resume. So we not running around continuously trying to best fight the best. No, you got one fighter building up, doing what they doing, and then you got the other fighters running around collecting the accolades and finessing and calling out the other fighter until either the other fighter, they try to make the public pressure too much. Like, I don't really know what that,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Trying to make the public pressure too much to force the fighter to give in to their demands. Because that's really what the issue is. Because why we can't just make the fight? And people keep saying, well, why he's saying he don't deserve to fight? It's not that you don't deserve to fight, like you don't deserve to fight me. It's just that, and this is my 2 cents, you want this, but you don't bring this. So you just want to come off my name and then make all of this money because you fight me. When you didn't really even do nothing but call me out and bullshit and make the pressure, the public pressure me to fight you. And then
Yeah.
give it your demands.
Yeah. Let me say this first of all. Salute to Ashley's Corner. Let me
Got
say this right
Ashley's
before.
Corner on the panel. Go ahead, Key, and then we're gonna let Ashley get her 2 cents.
I got you. And I do want to say this too. I saw somebody say that Broner brought Tank to Floyd, and Tank already had a following in Baltimore. Okay, that's all fine and dandy, and I get all of that. But at the same time, how many of these fighters have we seen come up and have a name though? That have been, the next this person or the next that person. Hell, you guys, we have tried to hype up Carmel Moten, and my boy can't get past being on the fight after the fight ended. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's what's your talent, what is bringing. And I'm not, one thing I've never fallen into the trap of is saying that because Tank or these other fighters, even Abdullah Mason, because they have these type of talents, that's what has gotten them through the door and made them to start. No, all of them at the same time, all of them can easily have been one. Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney. I'm not gonna blame Tank for showing up and showing out when in big moments and say, oh, okay, put him over the edge and say, oh, that's the only reason why he got, and the other people, and the other fighters, they can't get a leg up. We not gonna do that, y'all, because Tank could have went out there and laid an egg. Period.
Facts. Facts. Shout out Bird Weezy with the 49.99 in the super chat. He says, I love ladies' night. It's so peaceful and informative. Shout out to the ladies. Shout out Bird Weezy. Shout out to you. Y'all put some bombs in the chat for Bird Weezy. Ashley Corner, what's your 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Hey, what's good,
What
Two
up?
Cents?
What
Salute
up,
to
Ash?
you and your chat and everybody that's on the panel. Uh, I'm always missing your live, and I was sleeping. I was working hard, man. I was working hard yesterday. I didn't get no sleep, so I was asleep. and I just woke up. I don't even know what y'all are really talking about. So
Oh, okay. Well, I started late tonight. I started at 8:30, so I pushed the time back.
okay.
Because I noticed that the ladies wasn't coming on till late, so I might just starting at 8:30 on Fridays instead of 6:30. Because that's the time.
Girl, we talking about how I don't know if you saw it, but the whole boxing Twitter is aflames on fire because of Tank. They're saying that Tank is ducking Shakur. He's ducking out of competition. They're tagging the WBA to strip Tank of his belt. They are saying that he don't want to fight the competition, as if we don't know that the fights have been offered for Tank, and some of these fighters have turned him down. So all of that is being erased because he is fighting Jake Paul. And I feel as though the hate that he is getting is unwarranted, and it's on a whole different level than what Floyd had to go through, for the simple fact that we're in the social media and technology era. And I know that only represents a small portion of the boxing fans and the ones that truly support, but what they're doing is absolutely horrendous.
What's
So
your two
what
cents about the reaction to the Jake and Tank Paul fight, Ashley?
And I think this isn't nothing new. Like, as far as the people hating on Tank for his decision of fighting who he wants to fight, this happens every year. It happens all the time. Gervonta Davis always been one of them people that had a minimum of 5 to 10 people calling him out every single year. So in somebody's eyes, he will always be ducking somebody. And for real, when you look at his past career, he's never did anything that honestly made the people all together happy as a whole. He's never did anything like that. Even if he fought the people that people wanted him to fight and he knocked them out, it would still be people unhappy that he lost. So it's you can't please everybody, and it just is what it is. When it comes to somebody like Tank, in my opinion, if if you giving your all to the sport, and we all know everybody has their own situation. When you look at Gervonta Davis' situation, he's did what he could in every possible situation. In the beginning of his career, we know now that Floyd was holding him to a certain bubble, and a lot of people was mad that he wasn't outside of that bubble and fighting different people like. And I think the biggest name was Lomachenko, for real, and Devin Haney. Those are the two names that people wanted him to fight in the beginning of his career. Now that things has changed and he's had his control of his own career, he's been fighting better names. You know what I'm saying? He's been fighting better people, in my opinion. So just off of the strength that the people that he wants to fight don't want to fight him, off the strength that he started off trying to fight Lomachenko, off the strength that he did send Shakur Stevenson, like, well, not send to Shakur Stevenson, but they tried to make the Shakur Stevenson fight happen years ago when he was with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum said no. And he also tried to make a fight in 2023 or 2024 with Shakur Stevenson, and that's when he said he wanted the multi-fight deal and not one fight. Um, I know that Gervonta Davis tried to make a fight with Devin Haney before he fought, and right after he fought Lomachenko, before he moved up to 140 to fight Regis Prograis. I know a lot of things that just didn't happen because of one thing or another, but it wasn't Gervonta Davis' fault. I know that. Regardless of what other people know, I'm right here in Maryland, 20 minutes away from his gym. I know that. I know those things. So, being that I know those things and people are still going to hate on him and think whatever, and you got all of these people lying on him or ever, like, this man is, they said he was old because he was close to 30. Like, they make fun of everything that don't have nothing to do with boxing. Like, for the longest time in Tank's career, people talked bad about him, but it didn't have nothing to do with what he did in the ring. Like, I mean, it's at some point in time you're gonna say, cool, y'all got it. I'm rich, peace. At some point in time, you're gonna say that. And when you look at other people's career, especially the older fighters that's coming back to talk ish or just commentate on sports, they like people be the same people that be hating on Tank is the same people that be saying these N words are broke. These old fighters are broke. Like, so to me, I'm only here to be entertained. Yeah, I'm a Tank fan. Been one of the biggest Tank fans since 2017. Yeah, I've been an Earl Spence fan. Yeah, I've been all of that. But I'm still a fan of boxing. Like, regardless of the fact of who loses or who somebody fights, I'm clearly here to be entertained. I'm not here to kiss ass, and I'm not here to care about who a fighter fights. I never have. I've never sat here and was like, oh, why Shakur fighting him? I never sat here and was like, oh, why is Devin fighting him? I never sat here and did none of that to them fighters, and I won't do it to one of my favorites. So I could care less about who Gervonta Davis fights because he made this fight before he fought Lamont Roach. He made this Jake Paul fight, and a lot of people wanted to fight Jake Paul. So if it's cool for them, it's cool for Tank. And people love the double standards, and I'm a black woman. I guarantee I know the double standards, and I could care less about what people's feelings is about this fight. It just is what it is. The man gave his career, gave all of these years of his life for his boxing career. I don't give a fuck about who Gervonta Davis fight, and I don't know why everybody else cares when he does try to fight people that everybody wants to see him fight. Like, I don't see what's the big deal about this Jake Paul fight for real. I don't really care.
Ashley, I'm the same way. I'm
I
the
don't
same
care. I
exact
don't I
way.
don't understand why people are so upset about the fight. There's no reason to be
It
upset
don't make
about the
sense.
fight. It's not his last fight. Y'all are people let's listen. Somebody can call me and talk about anybody on this panel. It's up to me to be like, oh, I believe that. I believe that. And sit here and talk about y'all because to get my rocks off. It's all up to me to do that. A lot of these fans, when they hear one thing, they go another direction because they want to talk bad about Tank. Like, nobody said that this is going to be Tank's last fight. But immediately when people knew that this fight was actually going to happen, everybody dissed Tank like, oh, what this is ridiculous that he's not going to fight nobody. He's just going to fight this person and retire. Nobody said that. Do you know that's what everybody was talking about in the beginning? They didn't know what to talk about when it came to this Tank and Jake Paul fight in the beginning when they realized it was really going to happen. Everybody just talked about how dumb Tank was because this is going to be his last fight. Like, bro, who made that up? Y'all just people just like talking shit about Tank. He just was cool to talk about. Like, it's so when it comes to everybody in the world being against one person for absolutely no reason, guess who's not going to be the follower? Me. That's what
Facts.
I think about it. Two cents.
And that's the same thing I said. Like, you not holding your fighter accountable. I don't need to criticize Tank. It's enough people already doing that. So let's look at things from a different perspective because there is another perspective.
I knew it was crazy when Tank had sent the deal to Lomachenko, and Lomachenko end up retiring, and people blame Tank for Lomachenko retiring. That's when I knew I was done. Like, look, this man can't. Now, if it was anybody else, oh, a Lomachenko ducking that person, but as soon as it was Tank, and they had to scramble to find a fighter, and they threw Lamont Roach, his friend, a freaking bone, and look at how he acting, and Ellerby had to gather him up real good. You understand? Now all of a sudden it's oh, Tank should have fought Lomachenko in his prime when he wanted to. Like, bro, come on, we're not doing this today.
And when they contractually couldn't make the fight, I got sick of arguing about it. I made a video about it, prove my point. They still just don't want to admit the truth. Shout out to Omega Red with the $20 in the super chat. He says people cry over every fight. I don't get these idiots' energy. They cried over the Roach fight and now crying for a rematch. It's cry too. Hey Ashley. Shout out Omega Red.
Let's go to Omega.
So I mean that's just where we're at with that. And I just don't think people realize that what Turkey has really done to the American market. And I think you brought up a very, very valid point when you just and Jupe also, both of y'all, what Jupe was like, you like Vegas ain't having the fights, and Jupe was like, it's because all the big fights that we will be having, we don't have that many big fights like that anymore. Like it's been either you taking all the fighters, you moving them to Saudi Arabia, because like let's be honest, Shakur and Devin, they should be fighting in the United States. Why is Devin fighting Brian Norman in Saudi Arabia?
A stoop is really ignorant. And another thing too is what I'm concerned about is their judges. Will they have that AI
Well, they can't use that.
automated? Huh?
They can't use that if it's like because it's like against the rule. Like you can't use that.
They did it with the Shakur at the one in February card. With Virgil Ortiz and Shakur was on there, and it was in Saudi Arabia. So I wonder if they're gonna do it
What?
again for. Yes,
I
girl, that
thought they
was up
told
in
them they couldn't use that. Like they just had it. Like oh, we just showing how it worked. But I didn't know they actually used it for judging.
No, 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 not for judging, but to score it side by side to what the judges did. But now that they're not trying to show belts and they're trying to create their own sanctioning, and do their own thing, I wouldn't be surprised if an AI judge is one of the judges moving forward. I'm not saying for the
But I don't know how AI
November
judge can
card.
judge a boxing match because that's almost turning into like some amateur shit.
I don't 2 cents. I didn't think that they could pull it off with the first one, but they did. They for them to have that up there lets me know that that's something that they're trying to work on.
So what do y'all think about Ashley? Did you see the beef between Shakur and Gervonta earlier on X? Did y'all see that?
I didn't
Yes.
see all of it. I seen just the beginning of it.
I got some tweets from it. But some people
Girl.
saying that Mayweather and Tank is kind of beefing now because he's doing this exhibition. But I'm like, where is Mayweather coming from beefing with Tank? Especially when he told him
If
this.
you're doing good, they got something to say. If you're doing bad, they got something to say.
Told him
So
what?
do what makes you happy.
Told him
Because you
what?
see this jet, you see this private jet
You
that
don't
we
see the
own?
video?
I got it because I
I
did what the
did.
fuck I wanted to do. I made over $1 billion. You know why? Because I did what the fuck I wanted to do. I'm gonna always tell Tank, do what the fuck you wanna do.
So I don't
Mm.
know why he would be upset with Tank for taking the exhibition, but I don't know where that came from. I know.
Because I'm gonna tell you why. Tank is going in this fight 5'4". The weight limit, first of all, Miami has rolled out the red carpet. I told y'all that Miami is currently in a recession, okay, just like Vegas. As far as the tourism industry and everything else, ICE coming up and wreaking havoc, right? So they couldn't. So Georgia was trying to give them a little bit of basically being stank. Somebody, from what I heard, like I told y'all, or like I told 2 cents, somebody was trying to basically backdoor them. You know what I'm saying? And so they moved it before the council, the Atlanta Athletic Council was able to vote on it. They just hurried up and moved it to Miami, and they rolled out the red carpet. So now the weight limit is 195. Is 3 minute, 10 minute round, a 3 minute fight for 10 rounds, and they're basically like low key. They got three judges, and there will be a winner, but it's still considered an exhibition, right? It's like that hybrid thing that we were talking about 2 cents a few weeks ago.
So let me ask you a question because you see Calvin, fussing about the gloves and all this stuff. And y'all let me know in the chat, let me know and drop below your 2 cents. Do y'all think that this might be a competitive fight?
I think this is an actual, but 2 cents, I've been saying that. This is a real fight. Ashley, what you got? I think this is a real fight.
Are they wearing 10-ounce gloves? Both of them?
Yes. Yes.
That's better. It's a lot better, I should say.
They were petitioning for
They were
eight
supposed
for
to wear
Tank to wear,
12, but they changed it to 10.
and Tank wanted to wear 8, but they said no. Jake Paul team said no, last I heard.
Is it an exhibition, meaning like this fight don't go on nobody's record?
Yes, it's a hybrid exhibition. Something like that. It's something
It does
totally
go
new.
on their record, but they created a new slot, a new category for that record. You get what I'm saying? You know, they got like your amateur category, and then they got like your professional category. Now they got a professional hybrid category.
Oh wow.
So it accounted on that record, and that's on Box Rec.
I mean, Jake looked like a hybrid, honestly. Shit. And black and white shoe and all of the theatrics. Yeah. This is boxing hybrid at its finest.
Facts. Facts.
I think it's gonna be entertaining. I honestly do.
I think they finna get it cracking, Ashley, in 2
I
cents.
think it's gonna be entertaining because man, like when I go back and just look at Jake Paul when he did get hit with some shit, like Jake Paul shows his nervousness. He does. He shows his nervousness. And when Jake Paul, that Tank is very patient. Jake Paul is going to get hit. He's gonna get hit on, and you know he's a fighter. Like Tank is gonna be patient. he's gonna be patient. He's gonna let Jake miss, and miss again, and miss again, miss some more, and miss again.
It's just gonna be so easy for him to trap. He gonna
now look. I got my boy getting. I look. I'm Tank fan. But I think my boy going to sleep. You feel me? I've been saying it.
Key.
I don't know, man. I don't know 2 cents.
Look at Key. What is he finna do, Key? Look how slow he is. Look at this.
Who's going to sleep?
He doing something too. Look at his face.
Stop, Ashley. Stop 2 cents. I'm just saying because like that's a big. The weight limit is 195.
Yo, that right back foot, that joint be flat as hell to the damn floor, bro. What's up with the right back foot, son? What's up with the right back foot, son? What's up with the bend?
I'm gonna have to go out on a limb, like for real. Like Jake Paul gonna get knocked out. And he don't got no stamina. After 2 rounds of chasing Tank around,
they're not gonna let him get knocked out, bro. They're gonna wave it off.
Yeah, they're not
gonna let Jake embarrass himself like that. They're gonna come out with
ladies,
some type of excuse.
Nah, Deem, don't do it. No, I'm just saying I want Tank to win, but that's the weight limit is 195. I can't see Tank coming over more than possibly 145-ish.
You know, Tank gonna be 195 pounds.
Tank is not gonna be that big, exactly. But I think that's the reason. Think about it like this, y'all. What if Tank was to knock out or beat the brakes off of or just outclass Jake Paul? How much that stock could go up? Because I could tell y'all right now, Tank is training for this fight. He been training for a minute.
Somebody got music, you gotta mute.
So I think like that's probably why Floyd, if there is a rumor about him being jealous, that's probably why Ashley and 2 cents and Juke.
How is Floyd even caring about what's going on in current boxing? Like you're retired.
Because think about it, a 5'4" dude knock out a 6 foot 195 pound in a sanctioned 3-minute 10-round fight, 10-ounce gloves on. Come on, y'all.
He could have knocked out Logan Paul, but he carried him. So I mean, I don't know why Floyd tripping like that.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Juke.
Hey, sorry, y'all. I had a few things to handle real quick. So I come back and I see y'all showing clips of Jake Paul.
So he working on his shoulder roll. But I asked the panel why you was going, like, do you think that this Jake Paul fight will be a competitive fight? Like I hear people keep saying it's trash. And you know, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, you know, I don't know if it's trash. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's trash. Like, we don't know how this fight could turn out.
So, and that's the thing. Like, I keep saying, okay, I understand there's a skill deficit, but we've been one of the number one sayings in boxing is that, you know, there's weight classes for a reason. And I know people like, oh, Tank's gonna knock Jake out. I'm not saying I'm doubting Tank's skills, but and I'm not trying to have the fight because I don't like the fight. I think it's stupid. Not only do I think it's dumb because it's an exhibition, it looks ridiculous when they next to each other. It doesn't help Tank's career. I don't think it helps Jake's career. It makes Jake look even worse because he's why you when you finally want to fight a real fighter, you decide to fight the smallest person available.
But you got to
with a
think
big name.
the casuals don't know that though. They don't really
Right, they
understand.
don't get that, but that's what I say. It's not the best introduction to boxing because now if this, I'm happy. I hope it is a gateway for them to watch more boxing. But at the same time, it's like no one 200 pounds should be anywhere near a lightweight. I'm sorry, you just shouldn't be. But I will say this: I don't think Tank can get hit even with a jab. I think that he or has to be like a he has
A
to
cat,
turn even a
a
jab.
cat. He needs to be like a cat, Juke.
Yes,
Reflexes on point.
he had, and I've never seen an exhibition where the person who's the professional has, or the more experienced has to be cat-like. Like even when, and even like when Floyd fought the other Paul brother, he didn't get hit clean a lot either. Okay, but Floyd is still bigger, right? And Floyd is Floyd. I just think he has to be, and I still think that Jake Paul is better than Logan Paul. He's fighting the more experienced Paul brother. So he really gotta he does have to be cat like. You can't take punches. I don't care how skilled you are than Deontay Wilder. His jab will hurt you. And I'm not saying he's Wilder up in his mug or nothing like that, but it because of that huge gigantic difference in size, it does. That's the only thing that makes it kind of competitive, right? Because Tank just can't get hit. Like you can't get hit. So, and I think as much as we hate it, and most people, it's a reason why everybody keeps talking about this fight and nothing else. Not only because, well, some people paid clearly, but also I think that they got to keep talking. They're talking about this fight because they care about it and they're more interested in it than anything else, which sucks because there are some really good boxing matches out here, and they're not using this opportunity to talk about that. Like I'm interested. October got some pretty good fights to me, but I do think it's. I don't know. We don't know what to expect with this one.
Do you know what my conspiracy theory is? Ashley, Jupe, and 2 Cents. What if Tank is fighting these bigger guys because these dudes that's coming in that's have belts at 130 and 135 and 140 on fight night, they come in at 160, 170 and everything else. What if he's just preparing himself for these bigger guys that when if again if which I like I said I heard that he is fighting again next year um for when he fight these dudes because Shakur's moving up to 140. Um Lamont Roach is doing 130, 135, and now 140. T.O. was calling out guys at 147. So all
Why should
these, I
Tank have
mean,
to go to 140 to fight them though?
I'm not saying that he is. What I'm saying is, what if with him doing the sparring exhibition fight with Jake Paul is gonna get him ready for these dudes that blow up? Because clearly these guys are not fighting at their correct weight size. I mean,
Now
can we
that's
all
a
agree on that?
no. I can see that. I mean, because I will say if we're looking at boxing today versus even like I don't know 10 years ago, these guys are meaty. Like they're pretty. I think, and it's because that's why I was like I really as a Shakur fan also I really did want the Shakur versus Tank fight, and I'm still hoping that materializes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I understand. I probably missed that whole conversation. I completely understand where Tank is coming from to an extent. And we can. So I want to go back into that if you guys already discussed it, but even he's going up already, even though despite saying, "Oh, I'm a real 135 pounder, I'm gonna be here for a long time," and then you look up, he's fighting at 140. So who knows, right? It could be because everyone that, and this is another weird thing, and that's something I'm trying to remember. This after happened before. I don't remember a time where a fighter who's a big name, people wanted him to fight was like bigger, like weight division 2, 3, 4, right? I just think that is weird, like. And it just goes to show you how times have changed, and the guys who were fighting in his division, like everyone has made pit stops, right? Because they know they've learned how to like squeeze down, rehydrated up. They should have been gone. Like Devin is clearly a welterweight. Like I said that. I don't know who couldn't see that. Shakur got maybe a year or two. He's young still, 135, right? Abdullah Mason has already looked a little, I don't think he got long. So he could be using this Jake fight. I don't think you need Jake though to prepare you for that. Jake is gigantic. Like,
It's like a
you just gotta
glorified
hope he
sparring
slows.
match.
But I mean, but yeah, it's a glorified sparring match, and on top of that, I'm just talking about the weight. I'm not talking about the skill size. But I mean, who else is gonna get him 50 mil?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying? For something like this, and it's a
Oh,
spar. You feel
absolutely.
me?
Oh no,
Like what?
absolutely. Now, business
Hmm.
wise, it's brilliant because again, I don't understand. I say I hate to fight, and I think it's an unnecessary risk in certain aspects and just stupid in others. Because I just thought when they got it looks ridiculous to me. But it makes sense. Like, okay, if I'm going to do something out of the box, I'm in a situation where, okay, I can rematch Roach, and it seemed like that was supposed to be, he's supposed to slip that fight in. He would have had time for it. If that fight would have happened in August, he definitely could have got that Roach fight in, because one thing Tank has been saying for at least the last 2-3 years is that he wants to fight 3 times in a year. So I do think that was the goal. And regardless of what I think about him, Roach said it, the undercard said it, right? That was the goal. But the difference is that, like, okay, if I'm gonna do something out the box, not only it's one thing to, like, okay, it's a big bag, I'm gonna take it, but I have to sacrifice this. So what's he sacrificing here? He's sacrificing some criticism from his own fan base, people like me and everybody. And I don't know if you guys hate. I hate the fight. I've been criticizing him nonstop. He has to face criticism and also criticism from people who never liked him in the first place. Because, like, they criticized when he fought Ryan. They criticized when he fought the fights that we say we want from him. He does it, and then we say, "Oh, that wasn't good enough," and then someone else fights him, and we say, "Oh, it's a good fight," So he's in a lose situation when it comes to the criticism. So it kind of washes itself out. So, I mean, he loses nothing. And what does he gain? Not only does he gain the money, but he's about to be he's being introduced to a whole new audience. Jake Paul's audience is not a boxing audience. And Netflix is a bigger network. He's not doing like, okay, like, for example, the reason why I want Shakur going over there is because I feel like ESPN kind of gave him more views. But he gave up that, and he's okay, now you're on the undercard, and you're on the Zone, a smaller network. You're not on prime time. Your fans can't see. So it's like, it was like the money was the money worth it because it didn't help build your brand. It kind of shrunk your brand. Versus Tank is getting a bigger audience, more money. Versus someone, it's like it. I'm not gonna lie. If Al Heyman would have advised him otherwise, it would have been malpractice. As much as I hate it, it would have been malpractice.
And everybody know that. But like y'all said, we do got some other fights coming up. Key with the T. What fights we got coming up?
Like anybody's gonna talk about it. We got Boots Ennis. We have Virgil Ortiz coming up. We have
I love what you said. It's like anybody gonna talk about it because you real.
because they I mean, this is
They
just like
don't
the main
care.
focus.
They don't care.
It's so
All this
crazy.
pro fight, real fights, and you can't get them to talk about nobody else but Tank. And that's a whole other rant. Go ahead, girl.
Please make sure y'all buy Boots Ennis tickets. Okay. We also have the Pro Box card that's coming on tomorrow. Nobody's talking about that one. I feel like I'm missing a fight. Boots, Pro Box Boots, Virgil Ortiz. Oh, Chris Eubank Jr. $24.99 for the pay-per-view. And then in November, I pretty Tank and David Benavidez. And there's a November 15th card, if I'm not mistaken. No, is that the Chris Eubank card? November, yes, that's the
The
Chris Eubank
Devin
them
Haney
card.
joint. Yes. Devin Haney, Brian Norman. Yes. In
Yep.
November.
That's the one you looking forward to, Ashley?
Ashley, who you
Yes.
got with that one? Brian, you
You
got
already
beat. You
know where
got
I
B
got
Norman.
with that. Now listen, I've when it comes to Devin Haney, I've always picked right. I've always picked right when it came to before his fights. I picked Ryan to beat Devin Haney. That was the only time that I picked someone else other than Devin. In this fight, yeah, I think Brian Norman's going to beat Devin. Yeah, for sure.
What? I
I
think
think he
Devin.
can beat Brian, y'all. I don't know why I feel like I just feel like if Devin is okay mentally, he should be able to beat him, y'all.
Oh yes, Thurman versus Fundora too. That one as well. That's a good card.
Now Thurman Fundora, I think this gonna be I think Thurman about to get stopped. This is gonna be the first time Thurman
I
gets stopped.
agree, 2 cents. I agree. Thurman's going to get stopped for the first time.
Can you
He don't
imagine
got
if
them.
Thurman gets a hold of that belt and just be holding it for hostage?
He can't do that at 154, man. There's too many people there. He cannot do that bullshit. But he's not. His legs is not like that no more to even do what he used to do in the ring to survive 12 with Fondor with his, with if he fight Thurman the same way he fought Tim Tszyu, even though Thurman moves around and Thurman has better feet. Thurman do know how to get his head off the center line. I don't really think it's going to matter. I mean, even if he don't get stopped, I still think that Fondor is going to beat Thurman.
I mean, Thurman got power, and if he can be one time for a few rounds and get Fundora out of there, it might work. But he finna be Keith last time Thurman, cause
Oh, no. So hold on, Miss Ashley. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I was kind of in the background when you came on. So you got Fundora, and you said you got Norman, right?
That's right.
Okay. So do you think it's gonna? And I missed some of it. Sorry, I got a lot going on in my house. I had whatever, a lot going on. Anyway, do you do you think it's gonna be like? Do you think Devin's gonna make it to the end, or do you think it's gonna be by knockout?
I think Devin knows how to survive. I mean, he
Okay.
knows Devin got hit by Linares and held for a round and a half after that. So Devin knows how to survive. He definitely knows how to move around. We've seen that in his last fight.
facts.
So I mean, I don't think he's going to get stopped. He might get dropped, but I don't think he's going to get stopped. I just don't think that he's going to be able to beat Brian Norman Jr.
You think Brian Norman can outbox him for 12 rounds, or Brian got to stop him?
I don't think so. I think Brian can win this fight on the cards. Like for real, Devin just uses his jab mostly. That's mostly what he does. He jabs and move around the ring. Yeah, he stands and fights. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he don't throw combinations, but he mostly controls the fight with the jab. That's all he
But
really does.
they said Shane Mosley said before the that one, what was that fight he just had where he ran around the
Ramirez.
ring? Yes, they said that, they helped him with some tools in his box, Ashley. So maybe he started off a different way.
They said Devin was stopping people in the ring in the gym
It's
in the
so many
sparring. He said he
excuses
was
when
in
it
a
comes to
small
Devin.
ring, and I'm like, okay, but he got in
I
that
was
ring and
told
just
I was told he fought Ramirez like that because he wanted to be safe and not take no damage because he knew the Brian Norman fight was coming up. It's like it's all types of excuses. It don't matter what he does, somebody's gonna come up with something.
the way they even just let that slide, like it's okay. Like, oh, he just fought like that. He just ran around because he didn't want to get no damage and mess up the fight. Like, what? He's a fighter. How did y'all let that slide? And that's okay. No scrutiny, no criticism. He
and,
ran
and
up.
that's why, like, when people criticize like the Tank's performance, like, okay, I think that was not Tank's best performance against Roach, but it was still like such a, like, it's a fight that I like so much that I go back and rewatch it because it was just exciting. It was a really good fight. And but Roach is someone he has been fighting for, like, throughout the amateurs, and has always proved to give him a little complication. There's certain, sometimes it's just a style thing, and I think when it comes to Roach, it's a style thing. So when I saw Devin versus Ramirez, I thought in my mind, oh, okay, this is perfect. you can style on Ramirez, because I've seen Ramirez can't pull the trigger anymore, and he was never like the biggest puncher. He got some pop now, but I just thought that Devin had the chance to stop Ramirez and at least knock him down. But he was super cautious, and I thought about it. Okay, he did just come off of a traumatic experience with Ryan, so I understand that. So now, and maybe that's what he needed to get him in this fight with Norman. But I agree, like, you have to take chances, and you still had so many advantages, and that's what's crazy about like the critiques is like Devin will have the advantages, and if I just feel like people are critiqued for so much less. And I just expected it to go a different way. I thought he was going to take way more, I say he's going to be cautious, but it wasn't nothing Ramirez could do with you. Ramirez has never had any good footwork. He don't have the reach. He's not accurate. I just didn't, I don't know. That's why I thought he was chosen to be his comeback fight, to really like put him back in that contender status. And it's just kind of, I don't know. So that's the,
it's like they ruined Devin's moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, so that's what makes me worried about him versus Norman. It's like, if you were that hesitant, and I'm not saying he won't, maybe he was just playing possum, but his hesitation makes me worry about how he was going to respond to Norman.
So is this make or break for Devin?
Look, I mean, I don't know about make or break, but somebody lying, Key.
What's up? What you mean, Ashley?
Somebody lying. If Brian Norman Jr. can't go in here and make this shit look competitive and beat Devin Haney, somebody's lying. All right. You sat there and said you sparred Boots a bunch of times, and you sparred whoever, sparred this person.
He said he beat up Tank, he beat up Bud.
Let's somebody lying. You hear me?
Somebody lying.
Somebody lying. All right. If he don't,
Devin said he beat up Floyd.
Somebody is lying. You
he said he beat up Floyd.
Lying. You're lying.
Yes, Devin said that he beat up Floyd. Am I lying?
I'm not Devin.
No,
man,
I remember. That's another thing.
Lying. Everybody's.
You're right. I think that Bill tried to say that the reason why Floyd retired was not because of all the. He said, I'm like,
do y'all remember that time when and listen, now that I'm thinking about this, I might have to do a show about this. It's been so much bullshit, and then I remember people was getting so mad at Fanon about this, but I think Devin had put up like a fake shake flyer of him and Gervonta Davis fighting, and in like an hour it got like 80,000 likes. Or something crazy like that.
Oh yeah, he cooked the numbers.
And it was like, what? Like,
yeah, he cooked the numbers. I remember that. He cooked the numbers.
That shit is so fraudulent. I thought that was so funny. Like, really 80,000 likes? Like, why are you doing this and that's what I mean when I say like the public pressure to try to force somebody to do something when in reality you're not even trying to do
but that's in theme with what's happening today. What's happened today is that it's just so much fraudulent stuff going on, and how like YouTube is not as organic, or just social media in general is not organic. And I think I've said this before, like I think I was talking to Rich, like I know that Tank got real fans out there, because when you go out in the world, like, he got a lot of fans, but here it's like this hate, it's like this, it's I don't know, it's like this whole apparatus of hate, and it feels forced. And then we kind of got confirmed that it is, because you got people buying numbers on Instagram posts, and you got people being paid to promote a fight, and you got people like, there's no one can, like, very few people are in a position to just tell you their authentic thoughts. So many people are bought.
That's crazy.
So many people are bought. It's crazy. And so you mean to tell me that all these channels just hate? And so when we say all this 10K, it is political. It's an industry. It's its own market.
Yep.
10K is its own market.
Facts. That's a good way to put it.
It's crazy. And so you have people like, yeah, I might have been paid to say. And so then that's why they're like, yeah, Tank said something against y'all and y'all can't say. That's why this whole KO thing and all this stuff is going on. It's because they may be a few of the last people left who can actually say some stuff that is not lock and step And the reason why that's shown is like, ah ha ha ha, your favorite fighter went against you. Well, that's a natural thing. You think all Ali
Because
fans
they
agree with everything?
compromise. They
Right.
compromise.
You think all Ali fans agree with him all the time. You think all Floyd fans agree with him all the time. That didn't happen. But now they want, it's like this image that no, everyone agrees with everything all the time, and we can't. It's like, I don't know. It's so I think that that's why this is bubbling up. Is because they're few. And so it's like the reason why KO can say what he wants is because there's nothing that Tank can take from him that's gonna stop him from saying his true opinion, right? But that may not, I'm not going to say names, it may not be true of other situations. And so it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of weirdness going on. And a lot of, like, I get it, I get your money, but like, it's been, everything's been looking real funny in the light. And we already saw it, but it's confirmed in the last, like, I don't know, 48 hours.
Especially, when it was confirmed for me. Actually, what I heard yesterday, that Manny Pacquiao will be a good fight for Bud Crawford. That's what I heard yesterday.
What?
And they were literally trying to debate. Well, they were saying, Bud deserved a Manny Pacquiao fight, and it'll be a good fight. And I guess they were saying maybe they could fight at 54. Like, I stopped listening because I was just typing. I'm like, y'all can't be serious, because if Tank fights Manny Pacquiao, what would y'all be saying? Like, it was baffling. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm done with y'all. I can't take y'all serious.
First of all, they were supposed to fight each other. Manny signed to fight Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford let Bomac see the contract, and Bomac is on record, on camera, saying that he had to make sure that there was proof of funds before Bud signed, and that's how they missed out on that fight. This is at a time when Manny Pacquiao was getting $20 million a fight.
Wait a minute. I promise you, you just jogged the memory. I do remember something about Bomac and proof of funds. I gotta do my digging. I vaguely remember something like that.
That's what happened. He was on camera saying that because he was answering questions from, I think, fans. He was like on some type of live or whatever. And they asked him about that fight. And that's what he said. Like, Manny was signed to fight. He was going to fight Terrence Crawford. I forgot exactly when in Manny Pacquiao's career, but it was a few years ago. You feel me? It was years ago, way before Earl and Bud fought. But he wanted to see proof of funds, and that's how Bud missed out on the fight with Manny Pacquiao. But being that Manny Pacquiao came back to fight Barrios at welterweight, and Terrence Crawford just fought Canelo at 168. That doesn't even work. Like, why would he? And then Bud said that he's moving to 160. Why would Manny Pacquiao, for the first time ever, fight at 160 to fight Bud Crawford? Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
It's because you hear Tank fight, maybe fighting them, and then all of a sudden, Bud should fight Manny. That'd be a good fight. After y'all just was snotting and crying about Tank fighting Manny and how he owed and all of this stuff. So it's weird. Like, they just want to take everything.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, I've been saying this for a minute. People hate certain fan bases and fighters more than they love the sport. And that's evident. So Bud just had, coming off one of the best wins of his career against Canelo, moves up 2 divisions, right? And so I remember people in the chat saying, like, I know you're talking about 2 Cent. I think it was in KO channel. We're like, okay, what's next? Because what's next for Canelo, right? And we're like, maybe he can fight Benavidez. And they're like, well, no, the mantle was given to Bud. Okay, cool. So I said the plan, I thought, for Canelo versus Bud winner was to fight, at least Turkey's plan was to fight, what's that guy's name?
You talking about Shiraz?
Shiraz. I'm like, okay, maybe he can fight Shiraz. They're like, no, not Shiraz. Manny Pacquiao. And I'm like, Legend Manny, who's been at 147 comfortably for, like, that Manny, okay. which is crazy because we just went off the last year talking about how Tank is terrible for bringing Lamont to one division. Meanwhile, if you go back and look at their resumes, there was a time where Tank was at 126.
Well, you going in and out. You going in and out, Juke.
Oh, my bad. Let me make sure I'm still on. Hold on. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So they were like, so I just thought that was so funny how we spent the last couple of months talking about how terrible Tank is, or certain. He's the only person who can't fight someone from a division below. But now we're saying Manny, in his elder age, as a grandfather, should come up 2 divisions to fight the man who just beat Canelo.
And a former senator.
Right, like right. So
he is the senator. About to say the senator.
Right. So so Tank is cherry picking if he fights a man who has fought consistently at a bigger weight class than him, a legend. But Bud is not cherry picking to bring that same person up 2 divisions. And that's why I'm saying is that all these rules, the best gotta fight the best. All this has been fake.
Yeah,
it's fake because, and it's all a myth because it will change. The same people who were telling us that all y'all care about is numbers. You ain't getting paid off Tank fight. Were in KO's chat saying how this would be a big fight and it would do great numbers. Suddenly they cared about numbers. Suddenly numbers matter. And so when Tank says it's all about hating and jealousy, and that's what I mean by like yesterday brought so many things home. It's like people kind of let their slip show. He's right. All this legacy stuff y'all don't believe in that. It's just that, and y'all love the numbers thing. Y'all just hate the fact that the numbers guy isn't your guy.
Facts.
That's all it is.
Shout out to Boxing Hacker with the hold on. $10 in the super chat. He says it's not hate. People want to see good fights. If Tank would fight a Shakur, no one would complain. Fight fans are meant to push for fights. If we didn't, we would have never got a lot of these big fights. Okay, Boxing Hacker, can you name me the Shakur's list that you want to see him fight? And don't put Tank on there. Shout out Boxing Hacker for the $10 in the super chat. And I got
so real quick more. Because like people are I'm sorry, go ahead.
Shout out to Boxing Hacker with the $2 in the super chat. Says Bob stopped the Pac and Crawford because Pac can't win. See, y'all be so surface level with stuff. Silly. But go ahead, Juke. We're gonna go around the panel and let everybody get their final 2 cents off because I gotta hop off early tonight. I gotta be up early in the morning. But go ahead, Juke.
Same here. So I had somebody adding me saying, "Oh, you're a fake Bud and Shakur fan spreading fake news. I dare you, because don't make me go back and get screenshots. Dare you to tell me what I said that's fake. Don't lie on my name. Because we were in the chat and people literally said they want, but it would be a great fight, blah, blah, blah. I can be a fan of Bud and Shakur, just like I challenge Tank. Again, I don't know what, I'm not beholden to any particular person. I'm not scared about not getting flued out. I'm not one of y'all. I'm gonna say what I feel, and I'm gonna honestly say what's true. If something is fake or fraudulent, if it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna say it. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Tank, Bud, Shakur, whoever. Fandom doesn't mean blind loyalty.
That's what they think. Shout out to Broken Dangerous with $1.99 in the super chat. He says, Bob said Crawford a sucker for left hooks. Shout out Broken Dangerous.
It don't mean
so like these guys like they just so used to like, you can't be a fan unless you notice that they don't call me a fake Tank fan when I criticize the Jake Paul fight. You notice that I've never been called a fake Tank fan when I criticize Jake Paul fight. But when I say it's crazy that Manny is cool for Bud but not for Tank, now I'm a fake Bud and Shakur fan. I don't know what type. Listen, y'all are way more emotional than I've ever been. I've been following the sport way longer than y'all. Figure out what's wrong with y'all and figure out why you feel like you can't say anything, you can't challenge anything against a certain fighter, because we're not built that way over here.
Facts. This is 2 Cents Boxing, where everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Ashley, thank you for stopping by. What's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I appreciate you 2 Cents for even having the platform for having a ladies' night on here. I'm gonna try to make it. more
Okay,
re-
we be here
more
every Friday.
yeah, man, I'm gonna try to make it. But shout out to the ladies, Juke and Key Alexander. Um I think people just really need to be more fans of the sport instead of fans of fighters. And people are also prisoners to their own loyalty, regardless of how they feel or how they feelings might change. We're all human. Feelings change. People like different fighters and at different times, but if you're not a fan of the sport above being a fan of one fighter, then you honestly shouldn't even have a platform. But that's really all I really wanted to say. That's all I really wanted to say, yo. Check out my live. I go live every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Holla at your girl, yo. Peace.
All right, drop your link in the chat, Ashley. Shout out Ashley for coming up on the panel. Juke, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
I want to say thank you for having me. Sorry, I had to dip out for a little bit mid-show. I will say that like I enjoyed you guys' company, Miss Ashley, because I've been following her for a while now. You 2 cents, Key with the T. All y'all gave a lot of good information tonight. I'm listening. I just love it. We have this like this day to kind of like always get together and talk boxing. I just think that in the end, we warn people about what's to come, and they somehow don't see it. And I think that people, by the time they figure it out, it's going to be too late. And I do, as much as I hate that Tank is saying, "Oh, I want to retire," blah blah. Partial to Key's point, I see why. He's been, and I get it because it's like boxing is changing. You have someone who has legislation to weaken the rights of fighters. You have people applauding it. You have all this going on, and then wonder why, it is what it is. I get it. So if he leaves, I just think that as much as they act like, oh, it's going to hurt Tank fans, it's going to hurt this group, it's going to hurt them more than anyone else. Because at the end of the day, the reason why Turkey and the other people are able to do what they can do, or the reason why Turkey is offering them the money that he can offer them at the moment is because of the market, and the market is built on the big names. So I don't think they get that yet. And so what will happen if he leaves this sport is that the floor itself will cave under, right? So now that resets the market. They already have a pay scale of what they want to pay, which is, a fraction of what they're getting paid now. And for some reason, they think that they're going to he's going to keep paying these competitive wages. He's only had to pay that because of what the PBC fighters have reintroduced. The PBC changed the market, which is why, remember in the beginning, PBC was sued because they changed the market so much that everyone else had to compete. They forced everyone else to pay their fighters more. Tank is one of those ships. Tank is like what's that term? He's a rising tide that raises all boats. That tide leaves, the boats sink. They don't get it. They don't understand markets. But they think that somehow, we're gonna get Tank out. Then what are you gonna talk about? Because you don't care about any of the other fights. You don't care about Lubin versus Ortiz. You don't care about Thurman. You don't care. You really don't care. And so I just think that that's something that they're not looking at. But if Tank does retire, I'm happy for him. Get your money. Let these people who talked all this mess and let them look silly. And let them, if so, none fighters making $150,000 on that TKO pay scale, hey, their fans, they have to thank their fans for that. So that's all I got. Thank y'all, and y'all have a good one.
Shout out Juke coming up on the panel. Listen, if you're listening to the replay of this live, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. And let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Key, what's your final 2 cents? What you got for the show?
Well, first of all, salute to you. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to my girl channel. Make sure y'all like and subscribe to my girl Ashley's Corner. Salute to Jupe. Definitely a wonderful night. Ladies talking. Um,
Ladies only.
right. But shout out to the kings and the queens that's in the chat as well. Salute to everybody that's here. Again, I hope that y'all have a blessed night. Remember, this is just boxing talk. But I will end my note. I think Jupe and Ashley's corner pretty much summed it up. But I will end it on, you know what? At the end of the day, when them bills come, your name is on them bills. Not Shakur Stevenson, not Devin Haney, not none of them. Your names is on those bills. When you gotta get your kids ready for school, none of them is doing that but yourself. You see what I'm saying? Basically, my point is you gotta do what's good for you and what's good for your life. Again, do I prefer this fight? No, I do not. I do not prefer this fight. I would rather have seen Pitbull Cruz or Lamont Roach or Shakur Stevenson like the rest of y'all. But one thing that I will not do, and as somebody that has been covering the sport for a minute now, and have been blessed with the opportunity to talk about the sport with 2 Cents and other content creators such as Ashley's Corner and everybody else, is that these fighters, I didn't see all of this for AJ versus Francis Ngannou. It was nowhere near this. I mean, just a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, I just want everybody just to take a step back. I get that emotions and stuff is involved. And ask yourself, would you rather take 40 to 50 million dollars or would you rather take 20 mil? That's all I got. Salute to 2 Cents. I'm out, y'all.
Peace out. Peace out. Peace out. Listen, we cooked tonight, sauteed, flambéed, broiled, baked, fried, air fried, whatever way you can barbecue, whatever way you can cook, grilled, whatever way you can cook. The ladies absolutely did that tonight on the panel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Listen, I definitely think we deserve 100 likes before we get off this live today. If you have not already, be sure to punch that like and subscribe button. If you're new here and you enjoy the All Women Show, we do it every Friday. I think I'm most likely going to be switching the time to 8:30 p.m. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the 8:30 time. Put a 1 in the chat if you enjoyed the 8:30 time. We might be doing it every Friday at 8:30 p.m. Ladies only panel. I'm gonna have to stop letting the brothers up, man. We had a smooth show tonight. I seen people in the chat. They said it was very informative. Listen, let me know and drop it below if you're listening to the replay. If you're just listening to the replay, put replay game. If you learned something tonight, let me know what it was that you learned as we went throughout this live tonight. Let me know what you enjoyed most about the live. Let me know who your favorite panelist was. Just let me know and drop it below your 2 cents. Catch me live again on Sunday from probably 5 to 6 p.m. because I'm really busy because I'm moving right now. I don't know about the 5 to 7. That's really why I'm ending a little early tonight because, you know, we'll be up here till 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning cooking. But I got to be up early because I got to finish packing. You know, I waited till the last minute to get it done. So be sure to punch the like and subscribe button. Let me get a like check. And thank you to everybody that came by. Thank you to everybody that hit the Cash App. Thank you to everybody that super chatted. To everybody that supported the channel right now, whether it was Key, Jude, Ashley's Corner coming up on the panel, to all the people that contributed in the chat, and to all the people that's going to listen to this replay. I absolutely, absolutely appreciate you. This is a platform that I have built for all of us. It's not just for me to sit on here and yell and scream and time people out that don't agree with me. That is not what this platform is for. This is a platform where everybody can come and have their own voice and have their own opinion and not be attacked for it. You may be called stupid for it, but you won't be attacked for it. No, I'm joking. But listen, if you don't want your host all in the videos, cussing you out, timing you out the chat, leaving you in the background, putting you on mute, come on over to 2 Cents Boxing, where we talk everything boxing and everybody's entitled to their own opinion.